Tell the truth.
Welcome to the Information Man Show.
Tell the truth.
The Information Man Show. Travel. Get your credit right. Get your credit on. So you can travel. Living your best life. Travel. Credit.
Tell the truth.
Brother Rod is gonna break it down today. Point blank travel. Get your money right. Figure out ways to maximize your credit, to maximize the best life. Nice to travel and kick it in a luxury hotel like that. But you got to get that credit in order and understand how you can manipulate or how you can utilize the credit cards to your advantage. And budget right. And then get your butt on the plane and pick up your luggage from the conveyor belt. And go somewhere far out there like that. And fly away. Or land in a destination. All right, everybody, peace. What's up, everybody? Peace. This Information Man of the Information Man Show. Welcome, everybody. Peace. Feel like it's been too damn long since I've been on this channel. As everybody know, I've been grinding on my podcast channel. I've been grinding on your news shorts, and I'm having fun. I got to be honest. I'm having fun doing broadcasts and podcasts and what have you on the other channels. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I think people say that you can get burned out on YouTube. I don't feel burned out. I feel like I'm just getting started. And this is why this is very important today, because we're going to get started with really hitting down some knowledge here as it relates to your credit and how your credit can translate into your ability to travel domestically and internationally for free. And in some cases, get deals, great deals on hotels, great deals on ticket prices, great deals if you understand the different types of credit cards that you can utilize, that you can maximize to your advantage. For so long, we are under the belief that credit, the more credit you have in terms of if you have a bunch of credit cards, this is the question we want Brother Rod to ask us of Point Blank Travel. If is having, or should I say proper English, if you have multiple cards, we've been long told that having multiple credit cards brings your credit down. We're going to ask this brother, is that actually true? He says that he want to debunk that as just a myth, and he's going to give you the information about that today. On this stream, it ain't polarizing. I'm not talking about Art Kelly. I'm not talking about Umar Johnson or any of these characters out here. Not polarizing. This is truly what we should be gaining from YouTube, and that is educating each other, supporting one another. I think everybody that's coming over to this program today, I hope people come over, stay. I hope we get a lot of people that come over, because this is really what we need in our community. We need this sort of information that Brother Rod is going to break down to you. This brother has been nothing but respectful to me. I've gone over to his channel many times. I have it set up in the description of this video. You'll see I changed my description of my videos now. I designed it I put it in a more professional manner. I would urge a lot of you to take a look at how I have it organized, and you might want to consider changing it like that, because I have it definitely arrowed out from social media to my links. And now we have Brother Rod's links, Point Blank Travel's links on the description of this video, where you can go over and support his channel. I want you all to go over there and support the brother's channel. Run his link through the chat room as much as you can, because this is going to be a treat. This is really what my channel is really all about. The information we need to learn, teach one to each one is what we really need. And this is very important. Credit in this world that we live in, whether you like it or not, the days of just relying on cash. Now, you do want to have cash. Cash is important. Right? Let me put this on here. Cash is important. As you see the dollar bills, the money. You see the dollar bills coming down, the tens and the hundreds. Money is very important, but we're also living in a world that if you don't have good credit scores, you don't have a line of credit or anything, it makes it difficult to buy a house, a car. It just makes it very difficult. Brother Rod is going to talk about that in terms of their startup cards that you can get yourself into if you're one of those people who are trying to rebuild your credit. So with all that I've said, it's time to bring this brother on, and I do mean this brother on right now in the flesh. It is with great honor, as I clap for this brother again. It is with great honor and dignity in the whole 9 yard that I bring you, ladies and gentlemen, Brother Rod of Point Blank Travel! Brother, travel! Yes! Come on in here. Don't play around. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's unmute this brother.
Boy.
Let's unmute him, brother. Brother, look, I'm glad to have you on. Right now. I know we were talking about doing this for a minute now, and you said, look, man, let's get this going. I don't believe in playing around. So you're here. I'm happy you here. We've got great people in the chat room. CCNTV, Queen I Know I Am, One Man Band. Check out his channel. Uniquely is in the house. CC, Chris CC's, the guy from Texas, Golden Melanin, Natro, DOD is my man. He's got a channel. Check his channel out. He talks about nothing but black news over there, right? We got Miss V in the house. Peace to you. We got Cooking at Pam's is in the house. I love that sister. Check her channel out. She's making nothing but good food over there. We got Brother Keith in the house. Glorion Murray. I just want to give a little bit of love to folks that's in the chat room because I can't do this without you. We got Vern's Junk Closet. That's my sister as well. Clap to her. Clap to everybody out there. Right? I just got to give a little respect because I can't do what I'm doing without them. We got Honeybee that's in the house. Great to see her here as well. I can't do what I'm doing, just like I heard you say in one of your videos. I can't do what I'm doing without the audience. The audience are the ones that bring the energy to us. They motivate us to get up here and put this content out. They're the ones that this is all about. It's not about us. I don't care how big my channel gets, your channel get, anybody get. Don't get so big that you forget that it is the audience that makes you, because the audience comes over and supports you and they send your videos to other places to bring more audience to you. Keep that in mind. Now, Brother Rod, Point Blank Travel. Brother, I'm so glad to have you here. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to be here, man. You hear me pretty good, information, man?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Everybody can hear me.
I hope everybody can. If you can hear Brother Rod, put a 1 in the chat room. And before we get started, let me just say peace to Alan Christian, who gave me the super chat. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you. I'll play super chat music in a little bit down the line, but thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. If everybody can hear Brother Rod as he speaks, put a 1 in the chat room. Go ahead, Brother Rod.
All right, we got a lot of ones. And first and foremost, my man, I want to thank you for having me on here. You said it best. You know, we were talking about it, but I'm that dude that want to be about it. I can talk about a lot of stuff. I've talked about a lot of stuff in my life, and then I made a change in my life when I decided I wanted to be about it. So I saw Information Man show on Meet and Eyes live show. I was like, hey, man, let's do this. Let's put a date. Let's set it up. We set it up for December 26th. Here I am right now in the flesh. In case you've never seen me, my name is Rod, and I am the founder of not only Points Blank Travel, Points Blank Finance. Today, we're going to focus on Points Blank Travel. And on that channel, all I want to do is teach you, because I spent a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of videos, a lot of articles, a lot of books to teach you how to get your credit straight and travel around the world or around the country for little or no money out of your pocket. And if there's something you're interested in, I would normally say tune in to the channel, but we ain't on my channel. So I'm going to say subscribe to Points. Put an S on there. I came up with this name because it was tough. I started a Facebook group because I'm like everybody else. I was a little nervous about getting in front of a camera and I'm talking to myself and all that good stuff. But I'm like, I want to come up with point blank information. I ain't got time to sugarcoat nothing. I ain't got time to beat around the bush and lie to people. If your credit's messed up, I'm not going to say you're going to get declined. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say you're going to get turned down. I'm going to say you may get declined. I like to use different words to still give people hope. I don't like, oh, you're going to get turned down. We as people have been hearing that too long. You're going to get turned down. You're not worried of this. So I said, okay, I got to hit people right between the eyes. Point blank information, but I put an S at the end of it. Points blank travel, because I'm
points
and miles on how you could travel. And as we get into this live stream, I'm going to talk about my last 3 or 4 trips. South Beach, baby, San Francisco, San Diego, New York. The most I paid was $7. I didn't say $7.
Ooh, say that again, brother. Say that again.
$7. That's it. And I want to, in this live stream, I hope people can understand how we, and I'm going to be real about it, as people of color. I'm as you can see, I'm a people of color, a person of color. We're going to talk about how we're going to start differentiating between reasons and excuses. There are reasons we can't do stuff, but then there are excuses that we make why we can't do stuff. So anyway, I started this channel, man. I'm like, you know what? I was in the military 20 years and 26 days, and I don't know how many hours and all that good stuff. But I'm like, hey, man, I've traveled. I've been to Hong Kong 5 times. I've been to Singapore 5 or 6 times. I've been to Australia, Sydney, Brisbane, Townsville, Fremantle, Perth. I've been to Tokyo, Korea, Hawaii 15 times. I've been to Dubai 5 times. I did all this traveling on the dime of the government per se, but on the sweat of my back of working 12-hour shifts for 7 days a week, 84 hours a week when I was out to sea with the Navy. I'm like, man, when it's time to get out, what are you going to do, bro? What are you going to do? How are you going to maintain this travel lifestyle? Can you afford to go to Dubai? Can you afford to go to Sydney? Probably, maybe, maybe not. But if I look at all this travel I did, it wasn't necessarily free, but it was because I was on a ship. And I started watching videos and started learning about credit cards and points and miles. And I'm like, man, that's the way to do it. That's the LIKE. And I did all these videos, right? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But what about those people that are possibly like me that don't have the credit to get these credit cards? What about the 547 credit scores? I started with a 547. So as I come to you in this live stream, don't think I was that dude that started with an 800. Now, where am I now? We're going to talk about that in a minute because I want to talk to people right now that are in that 500, 550, close to 600 range, and you want to quit. You want to give up. And I'm not going to do too much talking because I know Information Man got a lot of questions, but I do want to start this show by saying, yes, I started Points Blank Travel. Then I had to have a two-headed monster. I had to talk about points and miles and how to travel for a little no money out of your pocket, but I also wanted to talk about how to get your credit right because you got to have your credit right to even get these cards. So look at me at the rest of this live stream, not the dude. Don't look at where I am now. You can't to have aspiration, to have motivation. You can look at where I am now, but please take a moment. Everybody clear your mind. Take a moment. Where if you're somewhere right now and you're not happy in that credit space, you're not happy in that financial space, take a look. We're going to go back in Rod a couple of years ago. We're going to go back when Rod was a 547. We're going to go back when Rod was told no. No, no, no. Rod was told no by himself. Rod was told no with women, girlfriends, and Rod was told no with the wife. And it is no worse feeling as a man, the provider of the household. I'm not married now, but there's no worse feeling than being a husband, the head of your household, and your wife wants something simple that you may not have enough money to pay for, but you're told no, and you're told no in front of her. Pop a balloon and watch it deflate. That's how you will feel. Pop a balloon and watch it deflate. But I'm going to talk to everybody, and it may be the females that want to go buy their man something, their husband something. It ain't one way, but I can only speak from my perspective as a male. The worst feeling I had was a female asking me for something sort of simple, and I have to turn around and say, sorry, I can't do it. But then I came up with something. Sorry, I can't do it right now. But you best believe I'm going to figure out how. So anyway, man, 20 years, 26 days in the military, 5 different deployments, probably 28, 30 different medals from the Navy. I lost count. I don't even keep up with it no more. And I don't even know if I shared this with Information Man. I don't even know if I've shared this on my channel. I know I shared it in the members on the live stream. But the final straw, the final cut that made me want to start Points Blank Travel, I don't care about YouTube revenue.
Okay.
I don't care about all the stuff that come along, the hoopla and the fame and all that. What I do care about is helping people. In 2009, I had a pain in my side, and every time I talked, I lost breath. I went to the military doctor. They couldn't tell me nothing. They sent me to a real hospital. Thank goodness. I got out of my car and I was walking up to the emergency room.
Yes.
Before I could get to the door, I had to stop and sit down on a little bench because I was out of breath. I mean, we're not even talking 50 yards. Why? Why did I have to stop? And I found out once I got in there, my oxygen was at 79%. I had blood clots in both lungs. I didn't even know it. And they told me if I waited one more day, I would have died. Not to mention I went and worked out the day before just to try to regulate my breathing, which was stupid. But I do a lot of silly things I have, not so much now. But, and I'm going to shorten the story. I was in the hospital 9 days after being told if I'd have waited one more day, I would have died. And my mentor in the Navy, who retired as an E9, I retired as an E8. That's as high as you could go. Was an E9. I was one rank away from that. And he said, I don't know what it is, bro, but God kept you here for a reason. You need to find that reason. And I'm here to tell you, I think the reason is Points Blank Travel.
Yes.
There you go, Information Man. Sorry about that, man. I'm long.
No. You need to tell people the backstory while you were talking, just so people know. I'm sending out this stream to other social sites so that people have a chance to see that. So I was hearing what you were saying. I think it's important people to know your backstory. Now, I know, let me just say this, and let me give them a clap right here. The House of X Entertainment The House of X Entertainment is where I first laid eyes on you, your message, what you were talking about, what you were trying to do. And I thought this brother has it all together. He's very positive, very powerful. And I want to thank them because if it was not for seeing you on their show, I would have never knew who you were. And this is why this is a very powerful medium that we're using to bring people together. And you had a backstory where, you know, all of us have a story in which we came over the hard side of the mountain. And when you talk about, well, not everybody has grown up with a silver spoon in their mouth. Before you begin to change your life around and understand how to make credit work for you, and you came out with the YouTube channel and all these beautiful, these incredible things that you've invested in, where were you in your life, if you don't mind talking about this, where you kind of question where you were in life before the light bulb just kind of turned on for you? Because it's different for everybody at different stages of their life.
Oh, that's a great question, man. It was and I'm hopefully I'm gonna answer and we're on the same page with the story, because I could tell some stories. But in 2009, I retired from the military, and it was E8. I got paid pretty good money. I wasn't wanting anything. I had a drop top Lexus, a SC430. I lived in a prominent area in San Diego, California. I moved to Texas, and then I retired in Texas from the military. And I said, man, what am I going to do? And they always say, you know, once you retire from the military, you'll be dead in 10 years because it's so stressful. It's so high paced. I was like, I don't want that to happen. Let me go find the craziest job I could find where I don't have to work too hard. So I was going to be a recruiter at a college. And I'm like, yeah, that'll be cool, but I don't know if that's stressful. So I said, well, let me go to a car dealership. I always wanted to sell cars. Let me see what that's like. Well, they forgot to tell me that you don't get paid if you don't sell a car. You know, I wasn't getting a salary. So it was a couple of checks where I didn't get a check. I had my military retirement. That wasn't enough to live the lifestyle I was living at the time. And I remember one week I got $75. Here I am, 39, maybe 40. And my check for a week was $75. And I remember, like, man, I had to make choices. It was days, and I'm going to shorten this up because it's too long of a story, but I had to make choices at 2 to 3 days before payday, get something to eat or put gas in your car to go to work, which the obvious choice was to put gas in your car to go to work to try to make some money. And man, I remember one day I was at work and the repo guy pulled up to my job. He was looking for my car. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. So I said, well, I can't go home. So I stopped and got a few groceries. I had to park probably a half a mile from where I really lived. It was common sense, don't park at home. They're going to look for your car there. And I'll never forget, it was probably January or February in Dallas. And it was pretty cold. I'm walking down a side of a highway with no sidewalk, a black man with a trench coat carrying 2 bags. And I was like, man, this is crazy. I got to fix this. It's going to take some time. But I really had to conversate with myself. So I get to my apartment, finally, and I had this envelope on my door. I'm like, man, what is this? Okay, I don't think I got a special letter. I opened it up. It was an eviction notice. I'm like, man, this is just getting worse and worse. And right there, information, man, I was like, you know what? There's no such thing in my situation right now as sink or swim. I'm either about to swim or drown. I'm not about to sink or swim, I'm about to swim or drown. And I looked, I was like, wow. It's time to make a change. And I went to work and I said, all I could do is just bust my butt. I had to bust my butt. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I said I had to bust my ass. Excuse me for anybody out there know it's Sunday and stuff, and probably about 4 months later, I was promoted and made a little more money. I didn't have to worry about selling cars and all that. And it just showed me that, man, you could be, and I've always said it, I said this a lot on my channel. I've been on Mount Everest. I've been at the top of the pile. And I've been in the Grand Canyon. I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to wish that you had something to eat. And then when you get in these situations, you ain't really tripping whether it's ramen noodles or a sandwich that has, and you have choices of mayonnaise and mustard. You just want to eat. But we have to sometimes make decisions in our life You know, here it was, I was an E8, and there's so many veterans out there now that are experiencing this. I had to make a choice. Here I am, an E8, a veteran, and I can't even be proud of the service I've served at the time because I had to get through this situation. But after a lot of intestinal fortitude and digging deep in my gut and say, you know, you're going to do this, it came before I left this dealership. I went from making a $75 check and making no check to averaging $150,000 a year.
Right.
So anybody out there that say, you know, you think you're stuck in a rut, it's so easy to go from Mount Everest to the Grand Canyon, man. So when I see this a lot. Be careful how you treat people on your way up because you may see them same people on your way down.
On your way down. That's right. How you treat people is what you're going to get back on your way down. I learned that myself, because you never know who you may need help from. No man is an island to himself. Now, there's some people that may have that mentality that they are an island to themselves, but you don't get anywhere in life without someone somewhere behind the scenes or in front of the scenes giving you some type of assistance, some type of motivation. Hell, we're motivated by what we see that other people are achieving that make us say, hey, you know, I can achieve myself. So let me ask you these questions here. Let me ask you this. And let me say to everybody in the chat room that's come over to listen, I'm gonna give you all a clap here. I really appreciate everybody that's here. The guy from Texas, CCN TV, check out his channel as well. We got the sector in the house, the chat sector. What's going on, sister? I see you there. Cooking at Pam's is in the house. Some chick named Star, who's one of my mods. It's all hot air has just come in. And there was somebody else that I wanted to, once again, we got Real Aaron Collins over here. Fantastic. King Wage, who's coming in the house. I'm going to be periodically taking questions from people in the chat room who may have questions. But let's get right at it. Let's get at the real topic at hand here. And I'm glad that you gave us some backstory, my brother. Now, how can we take advantage of credit cards? Some people are afraid of credit cards. They say, hey, I don't want credit cards because, you know, I don't want to go into debt. And now you're paying all this debt, all this interest, and you're never getting out of a rut. You're like a rat running on a little, you know, wheel over and over again. There's some people who are scared of credit, some people who don't want anything to do with it, some people who have credit and they're unable to manage their credit well, some people who want it, but they can't get into it because they've had so many financial issues. Let's knock out some myths here today. From your knowledge, what's the best card for people to get into if they're trying to rebuild their credit? And how should people go about managing their credit, especially when it comes to taking advantage of that for traveling around the world in a way that could be free? Go ahead. However you want to break some of what I said down. It's a very loaded, open question.
Yeah, you said a lot, but I trust me. I listen very well. I would say, first and foremost, a lot of people and everybody in this chat, if you're in a situation where you're building, you're starting, or you're rebuilding your credit, I would say try. If you don't have to, don't. But if you have to, don't be afraid of it. Don't be embarrassed by it. Start with a security card. My first one I always promote is I don't get paid by Discover. The Discover It Secure Card is a great option. I actually have, and I'm just showing, this is my actual Discover. It's not a Discover It Secure, but the Secure Card is going to look just like this. It's going to look just like it. Start there with a $200 to $500 security deposit. Don't go and put $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in it. It doesn't make sense.
Right. Show that card again, brother. Show that card again, because I got you centered. I want people to see that.
Light, man, because I'm not using my normal camera.
It's okay.
Which I absolutely hate. The Discover It card. There's a secure. This is an unsecured card, but your secure card will look just like this. Don't be afraid to apply for this card, but before you apply, use Discover's pre-approval tool. They have a pre-approval tool, discover.com. You go there, you apply for you put in your information. It's not going to be a hit on your credit. If they say you're approved for the regular card, cool. If they say you're not, they're going to give you an option to go for the secure card.
Mm-hmm.
Make your security deposit $200 to $500. Don't go farther than that. 2 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 to $500. What I would recommend, and this is not a plug for my channel, I'm just saying you got to go over there because it's a lot of, not a lot, it's enough steps. But what you want to do is get in the habit of trying to use your credit card like a debit card. But there's one word that's going to come into play with all this. If you don't have this, and I had to get it, everything I say is by action. I've went through this and I didn't have this, but you have to have this. You have to have discipline. If you don't have discipline, none of this is going to work. Mm-hmm. So people are afraid of credit because, and I don't drop gems, ladies and gentlemen. I don't drop nuggets. I drop boulders. People are afraid of credit. And I'm going to tell you why people are afraid of credit. Mm-hmm. It's not credit that they're really afraid of. They're afraid of themselves.
Now, people break that down. What do you mean by that?
Believe that they could do the right thing. And I was one of them. Everything I'm saying, I've been through. So I ain't out here putting nobody down. I'm speaking of me. What I was afraid of credit because I was afraid of the decisions that I would make when it came time to pay the bill. I had two choices when I was a young man. I had two choices. And I'm going to tell y'all going to pretty much guess which choice I made. I had a choice of paying my credit card bill or going to the club. And your boy, when all your homies and your homegirls talk about going to the club, that credit card seemed to fall to the side. I'll pay it next payday. I'll pay it next payday. And next thing you know, you're in the club. You have fun that night. You kicking it. You over there electric slide and wobbling and all that other good stuff that they do in the club. I don't know what they do nowadays. And then when you wake up tomorrow and the club is gone, your friends at home, and then you still got the same credit card you got to pay. That whole memory of the club is gone. I mean, at least it was for me. I'm speaking of my stuff. So I would say to discover it. Reason I like to discover its secure card. You have a lot of secure cards out there that won't give you anything. They shouldn't give you anything because you're trying to build your credit. But at least Discover will give you 2% back at groceries, 2% back at gas stations for all the cash you spend.
Okay.
I'm going to talk a little later about paying your bill because this is where I went wrong. This is where a lot of people go wrong. But let's just say Discover just won't give you a chance. A lot of people will start with the Capital One, and I'm covering up my number, the Capital One Platinum card.
Yes.
The Capital One Platinum. People diss Capital One. Now, all the people that diss Capital One, they happen to be, they pretty much have a bunch of cards now. Then they want to talk bad about the company that actually helped them out. I don't do that. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm as we go to this live stream, I want to do inspiration and motivation and education, baby. One of the things on my live stream is I educate, I motivate, and I elevate. So I'm gonna educate you right now. And in a few minutes, matter of fact, I'm about to do it all in one walk. This is a platinum card. This is the Capital One platinum card. It's a platinum card. This is the one I would start with. But then when you keep grinding and you keep hustling, you will get to the platinum card, and that is the American Express Platinum.
Right.
The creme de la creme, baby. Did this just fall in my house one day? Did I just go to my mailbox and it was there? No, I had to grind. I had to hustle. I had to bust my butt. I had to work. I had to be told no a gazillion times, but I don't want everybody else to be told no a gazillion times. I don't want you to be told no at all. That's why I created this channel, but discover it. Start with that. And let me kill this myth of too many credit cards, but I don't.
Yeah, please do that.
Don't go run and get a bunch of cards because I wouldn't do it. If I could do it all over, I would. They have all these little myths out here. People that don't know, well, if you get a lot of cards, it's going to drop your credit score. I have 28 credit cards. I got 10 in my wallet right now. You can see them. I got 8 right here, 2 in slots. I'm sitting over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here, and some out of my car. I wouldn't recommend nobody go get 28 cards. Don't do it. My credit score right now, the lowest score I have is a 777 up to an 809. But you have to become a master of your craft. Don't go get a bunch of cards if you know you don't have. My favorite word is options. My second favorite word is discipline. If you don't have a discipline and you can't control yourself like I couldn't, I go to the mall knowing I'm going to make $500 on the payday, but I go charge up $1,000 because the credit limit is $1,000. Don't fall for that, man. But it starts right here. It starts right here in the mind. Your mind, not my mind. Don't be like me. Don't be like Rod. Don't be like Charlie. Don't be like Information Man. Be like you. Maybe be intrigued by what I do. Maybe be intrigued by what Information Man do. But Rod ain't about to pay your bills. Information man ain't about to pay your bills. Information man and Rod don't even know your status. We don't even know what you got to do. You do. So I would start with that. Discover it, Capital One Platinum, and just work your way up, man. Now, with these 28 credit cards, if you go get a bunch of cards in a short period of time, it's going to hurt your average age of accounts. It's going to drop your credit score. You're going to be hurting, blah, 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 blah. But that comes with becoming a master of your craft. So.
Okay. Let me read through this if I could for people to understand a few things. Credit scores range from 300 to poor to 850, which they consider as excellent. Higher scores illustrate a consistency of good credit, historically, including on time payments. That's very important, folks, to pay, as you have already heard before, pay your bills on time, and low credit use and long credit history. Let me put this up here too. There are no exact cutoffs for good scores or bad scores, but there are guidelines for each. Most lenders view scores above 720 as ideal and scores below 730 as problematic. Is that true, Brother Rod? Let's bust through the myths because you've been doing it.
If I tell people, and I did a video, the credit hamburger, your score is the buns. When you look at your credit score, those are the hamburger buns. Mm-hmm. Your credit profile, what's in your credit is everything else: the meat, the cheese, the ketchup, the mayonnaise, the mustard, the pickles, the onions. I know a lot of people, and I work in the car industry. I know a lot of people that have had a 750 credit score that couldn't buy a car. And I know people with a 580 credit score I've watched roll off in a $60,000 Tahoe. So with saying that, your credit score is important, yes. But let me break this down a little further. If you have a 720, or I think they use 720, and you have a $500 credit card, and you've had this credit card for X amount of years, X amount of months, and you paid on time, and then somehow you get up to 720, but you make $2,000 a month or $1,500 a month. You got a $500 credit card, your credit score is 720. You're not going to be able to go and buy a car because they need to at least have 15% of your gross income to even, that's going to be your monthly payment. But I know people that pay their mortgage on time, they pay their car on time, they pay their credit cards on time, and then they get sick and they end up going to the emergency room. They get admitted to a hospital.
Yes.
Next thing you know, their medical bills accumulate $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. I can't afford that. The average person can't afford it. If you can, you ain't really trying to pay it. So their credit score dropped. But when a lender look at everything in their credit, now with credit cards, yeah, it can be kind of different because that's usually on a computer grading system. But when you look at other things, even where I work now, and I don't really work car deals like I used to, but I would look at a person's credit. I would skip past all the medical. I'm looking at mortgage. I'm looking at auto. I'm not really even tripping off credit cards, and I'm looking for back pay and child support. If those three things are golden, I'm about to get you approved and submitted to a bank. So yes, your credit score is important, but you have to know what's in your profile. And I recommend everybody twice to 4 times a year, get a free credit report, even if you have to pay for it. Know what's on your credit. It's so much going on right
definitely.
now.
Let me ask you this question, brother. Queen I Know I Am says, I prefer a debit card. They are great measures of how you pay your bills and other services and things. They need to introduce debit cards in the credit report agency. What do you think about that thought, what the sister just said there?
I like what she's saying, and everybody has their preference. Some people, and I was that dude that I preferred debit cards. It's just me now. I prefer debit because I couldn't get a credit. Even when I had a couple credit cards, but I wasn't comfortable using them. I knew if I used a debit card, that money was going to be immediately subtracted from my checking account, and I didn't have to worry about it. So I agree with what Queen was just saying. I don't know. I can't say they won't. I don't know if debit will ever be included in the credit mix or the credit score mix. I don't know if that will ever happen. It may. I can't predict the future, but I think if you're cool with debit cards, stick with debit cards. I can't bash it because I did it for years. I did it for 7 years. I only use, but I know this is just, if I could use an American Express card or a Chase card and I can get points, miles, cash back, and I use a debit card, and there are a few debit cards. I have a Discover debit card to give me 1% cash back. So it's possible. But if I use a debit card and I'm really getting nothing, I personally would rather use a credit card and get something back. As long as I have the discipline to pay the bill. But if I don't want to get in all that, and sometimes it's complicated to people, they rather just use a debit card. So I think Information Man showed to answer it in a shorter form, it's really personal preference. It's personal preference.
Another thing I wanted to say, because eventually, I know how YouTube works. Eventually, I definitely want to make, for people listening to this video after the fact, I want them to be able to understand how credit cards are relevant to your ability to be able to travel for free or get hotel perks, get travel perks as it relates to traveling domestically and internationally. So eventually, folks, we're going to tie the credit into your travel benefits because it all goes together. You have to have credit. You have to have good established credit to be able to enjoy certain perks in life, because we live in a society, whether you like it or not, where credit rules. And he or she who does not have great credit, you're going to struggle when it comes to purchasing a car, a house, all these various things. So this is why credit is very important. And figuring out how you can, if you have a credit card, how can you make that credit card work for you instead of you working for the credit card? How can you take advantage of some of the perks and bonuses when it comes to travel as well that the credit cards can yield you? What I want to do is I want to read this FICO score. And you tell me, brother, how relevant this is to the FICO credit score is usually by 90% of the businesses in the United States. Okay, to determine how much credit to offer a customer and what interest rate to charge them for their credit. So the FICO score, let's just remind people, what is a FICO score in layman's term?
Well, the FICO score is like a lot of people, they look at Credit Karma, nothing wrong with that, because at least you have an idea of your credit score. That may or may not be actual or factual. And then some people like me, I'll focus on Experian when I get credit cards, because I know most of the issuers in Texas, they use Experian. And then when it comes to a car in Texas, they use Equifax. But when you really want to know your true score, FICO is it. FICO is a kind of a combination of all three of your Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. You can, and when I say you equals Rod too. I can get excited when I see a 809 Experian, but then I may go and look at my FICO and it may be 760. I can get excited about that 809, but in actuality, I need to be more focused on that FICO because it's a combination. And yes, I would go as far as to say 90 to 95% of businesses is no 5 or 10. The reason they're going to let you slide and not worry about your FICO score is because they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you with fees. They're going to destroy you. And they'll let you slide with, I don't like to say bad credit. I don't believe in, they'll let you slide with challenge credit because they know they're going to rob you with all the fees that they're going to hit you with. I'm glad you got this on the screen because this, here come a real boulder here because this boy.
Go ahead, brother. So right here, it says this, ladies and gentlemen, payment history, 35% of the score. Do you pay on time? Do you pay the full balance, the minimum, or somewhere in between? Ladies and gentlemen, are you paying somewhere in between? Here it comes. Boom! Give it to us, brother Rod.
Payment history is important. I personally, I don't think it should be 35%. I think it should probably be 30%. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Payment history, 35% of your credit. Can you put that back up? Because I want to.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Here we go.
Everybody.
Let's put that back up. There we go. Right there. Right there. Sorry about that. There we go.
Do you pay on time? We all try to. We including me, we try to. Do you pay the full balance with Rod most of the time? The average, the old Rod, the younger Rod, not the old Rod, the younger Rod. No, I didn't. Do I do the minimum? The younger Rod, yes, the bare minimum, or somewhere in between. The young Rod, rarely in between. All I paid was the minimum because I didn't care. I just pay them forever, whatever, because it was $25. It was affordable. It was cool. Now, I don't know if Information Man's next screen is credit utilization, but I'm gonna break down credit, payment history is cool. You gotta pay on time. There you go. This is the most important part of your credit score, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me just read it off real quick. The amount.
It's not the minimum due date.
Right. Let me just read this off.
I mean, not the payment due date. It's on time.
Oh, okay.
But it's not going to help your credit. Now, I'm going to give y'all a scenario, and I'm going to try to speed this up without going too
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Pause, go back. If most credit card issuers, American Express, Chase, Capital One, Citi, Bank of America, not all of them, U.S. Bank is different. They report at the end of the month. Most of your issuers are going to report on the statement closing date, not the due date. This is where Rod and so many of us make a mistake. I'm going to break this whole 30% down. I'm going to use small numbers so everybody can understand. If you have $1,000 credit limit and your balance, coach, you like Rod, you went to dealers and you went to the sports bar and you just ran this card up and you have a $700 balance. You are currently, looking at the screen right now, you're currently at 70% credit utilization. Your balance owed divided by your credit limit. 700 divided by 1,000 is all day 70%. Notice 30% is where you want to be. That's a safe barrier. So you want to be really at 300. But so you notice, you say, okay, I'm gonna be at 30%. I'm gonna pay 400 of that $700 by the due date. So I will be at 30%. And you think you rolling like Nolan, baby. You rolling with Rush. And the next month, you go check whatever, FICO, Experian, Credit Karma, whatever you check, and your credit score didn't move. Why didn't it move? Your statement closing date, you owed $700. You're at 70% on the statement closing date. You paid 400 of that by the minimum, the payment due date. They reported 700. It don't matter what you did on the due date. They reported 700. And then you, Rod, in our mind, we only owe 300. I'm at 30%. I'm golden, baby.
Right.
Not golden because they reported 700. So what you want to do is that 400, if you can. And I'll show y'all right now on my phone. I don't know if Information Man can put me up. I'll show you. This going to blow y'all mind. I don't know the due dates of none of my credit cards. I don't know the due dates of none of them. Why? Because I don't care what the due date is. And you like, okay, this fool crazy. He don't care about the due date? No, I don't. Why don't I care about the due date? Because what I have, and let me get in right here. That is the statement closing date for every credit card I have. The statement closing date.
Statement closing date.
What about we in now? Let's go with the next one. My credit card due January 30th. My closing date is probably 21 and 25, so somewhere between the 3rd and the 5th, 2nd and the 5th. I want to have a zero balance if I can, paid before the statement closing date. And if I can't, that $400 that I was going to pay on that $700 get me down to 30%, I'm going to pay that definitely at a minimum or as much as I can before the statement closing date. Why? That's what get reported. You follow this little rule, you got to pay on time. But guess what? If you're paying by the statement closing date and your minimum, your payment due date is 25 days later, you kill two birds with one stone. You're knocking down your credit utilization and you're paying on time. Now, a trick to this, if you pay too early, if your statement closing date is this date, and then your minimum payment due date is right here, and it doesn't satisfy the entire payment due, you still have to pay that. But everybody needs to start focusing. I challenge everybody tonight, tomorrow, whatever day next week that you're free, look at your statements. Look online, look at your paper, however you get it. See when your statement closing date is. Start paying before that date and watch your credit score rise, baby.
Go up. Right. I've heard you say this on your channel before, and make sure you all check out Points Blank Travel. I have his video in the description of this video. His channel in the description of this video. You can click in there and subscribe. If the mods could do, and that is run his channel through the chat room as much as possible. Go over there and give the brother some subscription because he digs into this even deeper on his own channel. Obviously, let me ask you this question too. This is very deep what you're saying. Right here, the length of credit history 15% longer than you have an account, the better the scorekeepers like it. So the people who keep score of these credit card. So is that relevant? Is that legitimately relevant? How they look at it due to history?
Yes, it is. Now keep in mind. Now we've tackled 35% with payment history. We've tackled 30% with credit utilization. Now we're looking at a smaller number, 15%, but it's still important. I did a video. It may have been a live stream. I can't remember. And I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But yes, the longer you have an account, let's say your oldest account is 10 years old, and you want to keep that account. I'm gonna do a couple of different quick scenarios. But then each time, so you got this account that's 10 years old. Let's say Capital One. This card, y'all, is about 10 years old. It's still active because it's my oldest credit card. These fools, and yes, I said it, I started with a $500 limit and I only have a $750 credit limit. What am I going to do with $750? I mean, I could do something, but in 10 years, however long I've had this card, I only have a $750 credit limit. It's still there because it's my oldest card. So each time you go apply for a new card, it's going to affect your length of credit history, or your average age of accounts, AAOA, average age of accounts. It's going to affect that. So if I have a card that's 10 years old, well, let me use, I'll use 10. If I have a card that's 10 years old, then I go get a new card and only have 2 cards, my average age of accounts with 1 card was 10 years. I go get a new one, you divide 10 by 2, and now my average age of accounts is now 5 years.
5 years. Then
I go get a third when I keep losing my mind, which I did. And it's going to, that average age of accounts is going to go lower and lower, and that 15% is going to affect you. One thing I will say, man, please, because I did it, please don't do this. I've done everything I can talk about. I've done it. Don't, whatever you do, you go apply, man. I guarantee, especially, and most of us probably start or will start with this Capital One Platinum card. And then we get the regular Platinum, the Discover card, the Chase card, and all these other credit cards. And then we ask these people that gave us an opportunity for a credit limit increase. Capital One is stingy, y'all. Don't take it personal. It's not you. They're stingy. They don't like giving credit limit increases. You ask them for a credit limit increase, and they tell you no. If you're hot-headed like I can be at times, the first thing that come to your mind, forget them. I got 5 other credit cards. I don't need Capital One. They can go to HE, hockey stick, cancel my card. You just killed your oldest credit card because you mad, because I was mad. I didn't do this one. I did it with a different bank. And you really didn't hurt nobody but you. You just killed your average age of accounts because you're mad. That's why you have to be a master of your craft. You need to already know Capital One is stingy with credit limit increases. So they're not going to give you a high limit anyway.
Tell the truth.
So don't take it personal. Like Monica said, don't take it personal. Just say, you know what? I'm going to chill. And then this is what blew my mind, information, man. So many people, they keep going back to Capital One. Well, I'm going to try in 6 months. And they tell you no to 6 months. You try 6 months. What I do, I don't even request credit limits anymore, increases anymore. I go apply for another damn card, man. I just go find somebody else that's going to give me a higher limit. And I got credit. I probably have over $300,000 in credit limits right now.
Right. Now, this brother right here, DOD, he says, I have a Capital One Quick Silver card. Let me break this down. Quick Silver card, you get like what, 200 cash back after you spend about $500 DOD on purchases within what, 3 months from the account opening. And the rewards rates are about 1.5% cash back on every purchase every day. So the question I have to brother DOD, are you benefiting and taking advantage of these rewards that the Quicksilver Capital One card is providing you? That's very important, because what Brother Rod of Points Blank Travel is saying to you is that it makes, if you're going to have a credit card, try to see how you can utilize that card to work for you when you are using it and spending it in a way that you can benefit from the rewards. that card can bring you. Brother Rod, you may care explain this better than me, but am I hitting in the right direction? We need to make these things work for us instead of us being a slave to it. We need to reverse engineer the process.
Information, man, you hit the nail on the head. If you have a card that's now, if it depends, are you paying an annual fee on that Quicksilver card? If they have no annual fee versions, they have some that have annual fees. If you're not paying an annual fee, obviously you're winning. You're hashtag winning. But if you have a credit card, in this instance, the Capital One Quicksilver, you're getting 1.5% cash back on every purchase. You don't have to do like I do. I have bonus categories I have to keep up with, which cards at grocery stores, gas stations, restaurants. I don't have to. I choose to. But some people look at the Capital One Quicksilver card as an easier card because you don't have to keep up with these. You're going to get 1.5% no matter where you go. Information man hit the nail on the head. If you have these cards and you're not benefiting from them, I'm not saying close them, but make sure you're using them to get the percentage back. I mean, I have stories about travel. My last trip, I went to New York, and I flew first class with Delta. And I just got off, I was on a phone conversation earlier with a good friend of mine, and her and I were talking about how people treat you differently when you have American Express. The last trip I took, and speaking of what Information Man was just saying, this card right here, and I'm not saying this to boast or brag. I'm going to break down how you take advantage. If this is not benefiting you, which right now I'm not traveling, so I'm starting to question it, then you don't do it. This card right here is a $695 annual fee card, $695 every year. My last trip, I flew to New York. I flew first class. The trip, flying first class round trip from Dallas to New York, cost me absolutely nothing. Nothing. I booked a hotel at the Renaissance Midtown Manhattan. Look it up. At the time, it was like $450.
This is where folks need to really hear. This is what it's all about. You hear what he's saying. He booked a trip. Didn't pay. You didn't pay for what? You didn't pay for the flight. Did you end up paying for the room?
Well, I'm gonna keep going, and I like that
Go
question.
ahead.
Now, keep
Go
in mind,
ahead. Go ahead.
$695 now. Round trip to New York from Dallas it could be around $695. We'll just say I'll be generous, said $400. It wasn't, but I'll just say that. So with this card, I get gold elite status at Marriott, but we ain't even left Dallas yet. I go into the airport at DFW International, and I go to the Delta Sky Club because I know if I'm flying Delta and I have this card, I get access to the club. They looked at me. They looked at me like I was lost. And I had a dress shirt on, I had slacks, Allen Edmonds shoes, $400 a pair shoes. They really didn't care. They looked at me, and I don't know if it was because of this. Like I was, sir, may we help you? And I said, me being the dude, and some people call it cocky, I call it confident. Me being the man I am, because I could tell what the whole vibe was. Like, dude, you lost. You weren't even supposed to be here. That's the look, not one person. If it was just one, I might have. Both of them, they like two dudes over here, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, you can scan my what do you call that, boarding pass and let me up here. That's what you can do,
right?
But, sir, you have to be. And once he scanned it on his machine, my platinum card, because I have a link, popped up. He was like, "Oh, Miss," I said, "Man, shut up! I don't even want to hear what you got to say." And I walked in. So access to that lounge is about $59, $60 each way. So I get to New York, and I catch an Uber to my hotel. And when I walked in, because I have gold elite status, only because of this card, I ain't paid for it. I ain't stayed in the hotel. I never forget, the staff was mostly minorities. I didn't see, everybody was minority. I mean, it was different races, but when I walked in, you talking about feeling like a boss. They was like, "Mr. Rod, we've been waiting on your arrival. How was your flight?" I'm like, "Man, it was great. I'm glad to hear y'all been waiting on my arrival. Mr. Rod, we have upgraded you because of your gold status from the room you booked to a skyline view. We also have dinner for two right here. We also have drinks for two." I'm like, man. And the person I was with was like, "How'd you pull all that? Yeah, you don't never want to hear about it when I'm telling you about it. When I talk about my points and miles, you'll never want to hear about it. So don't worry about it. Just roll with your boy. Just roll with me." So I go in the room and I'm like, And I flew back to Dallas. This entire trip, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to make it sound like it was totally free because it wasn't. Somehow, some way, I messed this up. I had to pay $7 in taxes for the hotel. I don't know how that happened.
$7 in taxes?
Round trip, first class, upgraded to a room in the middle of Manhattan, 34th and 7th, Renaissance Midtown, I'm sure, House of X, Burns. They know exactly where this is, right around the corner from Madison Square Garden. Dinner for two, drinks for two, and I think that might have been and the Delta Sky Club for two. And I paid $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $7. It don't get no better than that, man. And now if I pay to travel, it's by choice. If I pay to do a staycation, it's by choice. I went to San Francisco. Same exact scenario. I ain't gonna have to get in the whole story, but the only thing that blew my mind, I was at the Hyatt and I'm a Discover, some elite dude there. I can't remember what level I am. It ain't the highest level. But I noticed that I didn't have a microwave in my room and there wasn't one in the common area. So I called the front desk, like, is there a microwave anywhere in this building? I didn't say it like sarcastically. I was being for real. And the lady told me, Rod, hold on 1 second and give me a minute. And she hung up. Next thing I know, it wasn't even maybe 4 minutes. I heard that at my door, and it was this little bitty short dude. I can't even remember what his ethnic background was because I couldn't see him. He had this big contraption in front of him. That's why I couldn't see him. He had a whole damn microwave doing this.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, this elite status stuff is cool, you know? So yes, while you may be afraid of credit, and I can understand it, and I was too, discipline. If once you start having fear of the mistakes that you may make, and I've made several in my life, more than several, as long as you are afraid of yourself, you're losing out in life, man. If you're afraid of the mistakes you may make, losing out in life. And I will say, I didn't learn all this overnight. I probably watched, not counting YouTube videos I watch now supporting other content creators, but prior to even me being a content creator, I probably watched 1,500 to 2,000 videos to learn all this. And I watched, I read about 3,000, 4,000 articles. It was hard work, but I want to make sure people don't have to do that. And that's why I have stuff on my channel where people can reach out to me just to say, hey man, I'm about to do this. You know, what do you think, Rod? But this is what I want to do, brother. Let's get into the area of how once people get their credit together and they get various cards, I'm going to put on the screen. I'm going to share my screen, and this screen will show, let me see, how can I do this? This will show the best cards that you can utilize for travel. So let me share my screen real quick with this right here. And hang on for a minute. Let me take something off there. And there we go. And let me take that off of there. I made a little bit of a boo-boo, but we're here. And let me do this right here. Put you back up there. And let me share the screen as I was trying to do the first time. There we go. What I want to do, if I can, is this is the best travel cards of 2022. We're talking about 2022. So we're going to talk about that. I also would like to, we're going to talk about the top credit cards of December 2021. And this is what I should do first. Let's go here and just go over this right now. These are the best travel cards for 2022. You've got the Chase Sapphire preferred card. Okay. And we can go over them each at a time. Capital One Venture X reward card, right? And we got I think this is a City Premier card. So let's just go over this right now, because I'm pretty sure you're familiar with these cards. Even if you don't have these cards physically, I'm sure you're familiar with this. In terms of traveling and getting the perks of maybe a free air flight, a free stay at a hotel, or some type of perk when it comes to traveling, give us your best understanding of the Chase Sapphire preferred card. I know it's about $5,000 on travel purchases through Chase Ultimate Rewards. What is your understanding about this card? This is a pretty good card information, man. I actually have this card. You won't hear me say it in my wallet. I always refer to it as my arsenal. I do have this card. It does have a $95 annual fee. Looking at it, you can get 5 times the points, the travel points purchased through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, which I've yet to use. I do use it for dining. You get 3 times the points for every dollar spent on dining, 2 times the points on all travel purchases, which I don't take advantage of because I typically go through the company, whether it's American Airlines, Delta, or the hotel. That intro offers is kind of weak right now at 60,000 points because recently it was at 100,000 points. It's a great card. What I like about this card and what people need to realize is you can actually use this card. You're going to get points, but you can redeem those points for 1 cent per point. So if you're in a crunch and you're trying to set up for travel, one of the best things about this card is this is called a transferable points card where you can transfer it to their partners like Marriott, Hyatt, United, Southwest. So you can have a frequent flyer account with Southwest, not have a Southwest card, but you can take your Chase Ultimate Reward points, transfer it over to Southwest and fly. And they're typically 1 cent per point, but a lot of times you get a better offer. But let's just say something like what happened just recently happened in the whole medical situation with the whole world being affected, and you need cash, you can redeem those points for cash back. So I love this card. I do have it in my arsenal, and it give me what's my favorite word? Options, baby. I have the options to use this card to travel, or I can use this card to redeem it for cash back. You always want to have options. I do every card I have options, not every one, but as many as I can have. But that's a great card. What's the next?
Well, let me say this to you though, brother. The $95 annual fee. Some people look at that and they say, "Ooh, that's just way too much." Once again, when we look at these things, how should people calm themselves down and not be intimidated? What is this annual fee of $95? How does that either? What are your thoughts about that? How does that either scare people, or people shouldn't be scared of that, or is that just too damn high?
Actually, it's not a bad annual fee. I mean, I just talked about a $695 annual fee card. If you're going to get the Chase Sapphire Preferred card and you're going to leave it in your wallet and you're afraid to use it and you have a $95 annual fee, there is no point. There are other options that are better, like the Chase Freedom Flex or the Freedom Unlimited, which has no annual fee. If you're going to get this card, the way I do it, if a card has an annual fee, and I was that dude that was afraid of annual fees or didn't see the point of them, if you get a card with an annual fee, will your earnings and rewards outpace the annual fee? Or now with this 3 times the points back in dining, do you eat out enough every year to justify a $95 annual fee? When you deal with travel, now travel with Chase is broad. It could be trains, it could be subways, it could be transit, it could be toll bridges, it could be parking. 2 times the points. Can you justify? If you cannot justify the annual fee of $95, don't mess with the card right now. You can always get it later. One of the mistakes I made, ladies and gentlemen, I was watching all these videos, and every card I heard about, I thought it was cool, especially when I realized I was over 700. I was just applying for everything. I wasn't justifying nothing. I wasn't checking on nothing. I was just getting it. But then as I tried to educate, motivate, and elevate people, I don't like to say teaching people, I started to learn and wanted to pass down what I didn't want them to do. I don't want people to just say, oh, this is a metal card. It look good. It sound good. You feel like a boss when you hand it to somebody. But if you only pull it out once a year to get a $80 meal on your birthday, 80 times 3 is 240 points. 240 1 cent a point. That's $2.40. And I'm not going to do that and pay $95. It makes no sense. So justify the annual fee with the amount of earnings you're going to get back.
Okay. And with this card that has some more details here, and I think you already made mention, you'll earn 2 times ultimate rewards points on travel, 3 times ultimate reward points dining, including eligible delivery services and takeout. The current welcome bonus on this card is quite generous. A TPG value it at $1,200. So that's very interesting with an annual rate of $95 annual fee. You said that that's actually pretty generous considering. Okay, here's our next card, ladies and gentlemen. These are the cards that they already have ranked going into 2022 as it relates to travel. The Capital One Venture X Reward Credit Card. What can you tell us about this, brother?
Oh man, this is interesting here, and I'm glad you brought this one up. This is the newest, most latest offer from Capital One. It's a decent. Notice I didn't say good or great card. Personally, I think it's decent. One thing I want to school people on here, and this is a boulder alert, man. This is probably the biggest boulder I may drop tonight. When you see, and I love the Points Guy. I get a lot of my information. I got a lot of my knowledge from the Points Guy. I post a lot of his articles on my Facebook group. When they do these best travel cards of 2022 and 21 and 20 and 25 and all that, this Points Guy, who is extremely rich, gets a commission every time someone applies for one of these cards. Where you click apply now, you apply here, he's going to get a commission. That's the boulder. So are these actually the best cards, or are these the best cards for his pocket? I want y'all to follow me. Are these the best cards? Because I don't have the Venture X. I have the Capital One Venture card right here. I have the Capital One Venture card. The Venture X is new. It just came out. This card that I have has a $95 annual fee. The Capital One Venture X has a $395 annual fee. I've yet to redeem any points from this card. I have about 78,000. I'm close to 1 million points total. I have about
there it is right there, brother. You're right. I got it on the screen. $395 annual fee, 100,000 miles.
So scroll down. You can get 100,000 intro miles. Now with the Capital One Venture, you can get about 50,000. You can get about 50,000 bonus miles after spending with the Capital One Venture, not the one on the screen. With the one I have that I just showed y'all, you get 50,000 miles after spending $3,000 in 3 months. Now I'm hoping go back up a little bit information, man.
You want me to go back up to the first one?
Go down to the Venture X. Go down.
Oh, there we go. Venture X.
So you're going to earn 10 times the points with this card that I have. And I know we're looking at this one. This card, I get 2 times the points on everything. With this card, you'll get 10 times the points on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel, and 5 times the miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel. Personally, for Rod, this card would do me no good. I don't book hotels nor flights through any other third-party website other than American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Hyatt.com, Marriott.com, Hilton.com. I don't go through no Capital One Travel. So that will wipe that out for me. So scroll down a little bit, information, man.
Okay, here we go. Let's scroll down.
Points on all other purchases. I'm already doing that with this card. So I'm not going to take advantage of this 10 times the points.
So then, Brother Rod, so then it would probably make are you saying that it wouldn't make any sense that if you or anyone listening out there in the chat room or out there in the great beyond, if you already have a card that's giving you this with a better rate, then it would not make sense for you to get involved in this particular card? Is that what you're saying? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not at all. And if you see how much money you have to spend to get to 100,000 miles, I want to say it's $10,000, where I can spend $3,000 and get 50,000 miles. And now if I was going to get double the miles, I would expect to spend $6,000, not $10,000. So I'm not with this card. And there's a lot of brothers out there that are in a credit card space that we've conversed, we've talked. None of us have this card. I mean, a lot of people jump to it because why? It's the newest, it's the latest and greatest thing. You know, people flock to the latest and greatest. But me, after making mistake after mistake after mistake and getting some cards that I shouldn't have gotten, now I'm very more aware, and I do a lot of more evaluating before I actually go and apply for a card. And this card, it just wasn't a good fit for me. And I don't think it's a good fit for a lot of people.
So basically, it's not so much about having a lot of cards, but if you are going to choose multiple cards, you want to make sure that the card works for you. I think this is part of literacy, financial literacy, understanding how we manage our credit that we all need to learn. It's not a matter of just having a card, but it's more about if you are going to have a card, How does that card work for you? How do you benefit? Why go out and get another card just for the sake of having another card if you already have one card that's doing the same thing for you? So you want to focus on cards that maximize, give you full maximum benefit, and don't try to go into other cards that might have higher interest rates that are doing for you what you already have. You're now just drowning yourself, so to speak, and overindulgence in these sort of things. What are your thoughts about that, brother?
Hey, you're absolutely right, man. You know, get the cards that work for you. I tell people all the time on my channel, I may talk about a card, but don't please do me a favor. Don't go get it because Rod got it, because Rod's going to have the cards that work for him. Perfect example. A lot of people I know, man, ran out and got that Venture X card. It didn't work for me. Yeah, it's the latest and greatest. It's cool. I could impress somebody, I guess, and say I got the Venture X. But at the end of the day, I don't care about impressing people. I care about impressing myself. And if I can't impress me, why am I worried about everybody else? I mean, all of this. I tell people all the time, man, you know, I watched the Housewives of Atlanta maybe 2 times, and all I cared about was the intro. When Nene said, I don't keep up with the Joneses keep up with me. I mean that, man. I don't. Even if you watch, I have 400 videos, close 400 videos on Points Blank Travel. I forgot how many on Points Blank Finance. If every card that I talk about don't work for you, yet the card that works for you, I haven't even done a video on it yet. Get that card that worked for you. Don't get the card that worked for Rod, because we all have different circumstances. And what Information Man just said is right, man. What works for you? That's the key. And that card, that Venture X, just didn't work for me. And I guarantee you, it'll work for somebody. It'll work for somebody. It just didn't work for me.
Okay, let's look at a few more cards here. And these are, once again, folks, the best travel cards for the year 2022. We're about to go into the year 2022, excuse me. Now, what about this? Is this Citibank, right?
Yeah.
Premier card. What is your understanding of this card if you do not have this card personally?
It's a solid card. I don't have it. I've thought about probably all of 2021 applying for this card. I'm actually looking at either applying for this card, the Premier, or the Citi Custom Cash Card. I like this card. You can redeem the points for cash back. You can also use the points for travel going through the Citi travel portal. You will get 3 times the points at restaurants and supermarket, 3 times the points at gas stations, air travel, and hotels. And 1 time the points for all other purchases per $1 spent. The intro offer, you spend $3,000 in 3 months, you'll get 80,000 points. Even though it's not saying that on the screen, I know exactly what this card is about. Annual fee is $95. You have to have pretty good credit, 670 to 850. I'm not a fan of Citi's transfer partners because most of those are international. What I mean by transfer partners, American Express has Delta as far as flights. Chase has Southwest and United. American right now is not part of any, but American is starting to establish a relationship as far as transfer partners. They're doing something temporarily right now with Citi. Matter of fact, I have 2 Citi cards right here that are American Airlines, and it doesn't make sense. Let me cover up this and this. I'd have the American Airlines Executive card and the Platinum Select or something like that.
Right.
$450 annual fee, $99 annual fee. But I canceled this one because I didn't need both. So I have this one. I have the business version of this one when I fly under Points Blank Travel. But the reason I say that, going back to Citi, if Citi, to answer your question, what I think about this card, if Citi and American Airlines establish a partnership where I can transfer Citi thank you points to American Airlines, I would jump on that card all day long. This is a great card. I'm not a fan of the transfer partners, but I'm looking at the custom cash, which is not part of this group, only because I can get cash back. I have enough points earning cards, but if you're flying domestically, or you want to go through the headache, because I can book a domestic flight, or I can go to British Airways and book an American flight and fly domestically, although I'm going to a foreign carrier. That's a pain in the butt. It's a little more advanced. People that have been in this game for a while do it all the time. So I can use my Citi Premier points and translate it over to domestic flights. It's just a little more than I want to do right now. But this is a great card. Overall, it's a great card.
Let me ask you this question too before I go to the next card that I want you to assess. and that is this: very simple. How often, when you have these type of cards, and they often advertise them as cards that you get some type of travel benefit from, dinner, what have you, how often are you able to generate enough benefit from the cards, potentially, to be able to get a free travel? Because that's key. People are saying, like, for example, when I look at the videos in this category, people say, oh, when you travel for free, figure out if there's a way you can stay with someone that can tour you around. People are saying maybe you could go there and work for your payment of your stay there. Know someone, get a job there. There's all these people on YouTube who talk about these other ways to be able to travel for free, where you have to give of your labor, give of yourself, connect with someone on ground and what have you. There's all these different hacks and tricks, right? But as it relates to the credit card and the financing, how often do these credit cards really give you a free trip? Whether you're flying domestically, let's say I wanted to fly from California to New York, for example, or from California to New York, to maybe taking another flight to go into Europe or Africa or somewhere of that nature. Mm-hmm. How often are they really offering you an opportunity to fly free or travel free with the use of one of these credit cards, if used properly, of course?
Well, that's a great question. First, I would plan, if it was me and if I was planning a trip, and let's just say a flight, I would get a credit card that's going to give me probably the highest sign-up bonus. I want the maximum bonus for the least amount of money spent. So typically with American Express, Chase, you're going to probably be looking around 60 to 100,000 points. A domestic flight with American and Delta is typically 25,000 points round trip. First class is typically 50,000 points round trip. Mm-hmm. So if I was to get a bonus, if I wanted to do, now this is where becoming a master of your craft is going to come into play, because if I wanted to take a trip and I knew I was taking a trip and I knew 6 months in advance, I would go ahead and apply for probably the American Express Platinum or the Chase, one of the Chase cards. Mm-hmm. Get this 100,000 bonus. I'm going to book my flight. I'm flying solo. I'm going to book my flight. I'm not going to book first class, probably depending on if I'm going international, but we're talking about domestic. I'm going to get a flight for 25,000 points. Actually, mm-hmm. Yeah, we just say that. Or if I wanted to go first class, 50,000 points. So I'm taking this flight, 50,000 points round trip. The key is going to be the sign-up bonus. Now, would I make this platinum card the first and only card I have? No, but now I could get a $100,000 sign-up bonus, 100,000 points, not dollar. But my categories later is only going to be 1 times the points. Why do I can get 4 times the points, 3 times the points with another American Express card? So you want to look at the sign-up bonus. That's the simple answer to your question. Now, if it was Rod and I knew I was going to take a trip to New York, or no, I won't say that. I say San Diego because that's where I'm going next. Mm-hmm. I'll get the Chase Freedom Flex card that has no annual fee. Sign-up bonus probably right now is about 60,000 points. I would book, and this is going to blow your mind right here, information, man. I would get that card. Sign-up bonus is 60,000 points. Round trip, I'm paying 25,000, using 25,000 points to fly. We'll say I fly United. I'll fly United out there. I have 35,000 points left. I know for a fact the hotel I want to stay at, the Manchester Hyatt on the ocean, on the harbor in San Diego, is 12,000 points per night. Well, let's say 15. I'm going to take it at 15. I want to stay there 3 days. That's 45,000 points. I only have 35,000 left. I'll take my Chase Freedom Flex 5 times the points at grocery stores the first quarter. I got 6 months to accumulate another 10,000 points. My trip is paid for. That sounds a little more complex, mm-hmm. but that's why you have to become a master. It's just not going to fall out the sky. You got to do some research with this. It's not hard, I found out when I was trying to learn, a lot of people tried to make it sound harder and cooler than what it really was. Well, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to, and they had me so confused. But when I started researching myself, I'm like, okay, they wanted to sound important. And that's what I tried not to do on my channel. I don't want to sound important. I want to try to break it down. But the best way is to look at the sign-up bonus. That's what's going to be the key on your first trip. After that, if you know you're taking a trip if I know I was taking a trip in 6 months and one car wouldn't do it, I would apply for a card now. 3 months later, apply for a second card that's going to benefit my trip. I wouldn't go get some crazy card. So in this instance, I would get the American Express Gold card or Platinum card to get the points. Then I would get one of Chase cards for my Hyatt Hotel or Marriott Hotel, and it's a done deal.
Right. So traditionally, people talk about traveling tips to travel tips to see the world for free. You know, like this is what I was really trying to say. It goes like this. They'll say, if you want to travel for free, most people will say you can work abroad, right? You can work abroad in a friendly industry. Look for work exchange to being able to travel for free, right? Volunteer in a long term with the Peace Corps, right? Some people have done that. Volunteer short term and volunteer in organizations that you own, volunteer trips, house sitting, swapping houses, travel to the old country for free. So there's all these little things where you give of yourself and your time physically to be able to travel for free. That's what some people would say. But what I'm purely interested in is what you've been talking about today is how you take advantage of these cards and you maximize them to your benefit. Now, let me just say this. Most people who are not educated about this stuff, who have credit cards, would you say, brother, or not, that a lot of people, well, let me say this. Some people are ripping themselves off when they have credit cards and they don't take advantage of the rewards. So you're paying your bills, either you're paying them on time, and you're doing all of these sort of things, and then people are not taking advantage of these hidden benefits. How often have you either heard, when you've talked to people, how often have you had to tell people, what are you doing? You're missing out, man. What are you doing?
Quite a bit of information, man. And a lot of times people they don't listen to you. A lot of times I say, man, and I cringe when I'm at the grocery store and I'm self-checkout. I see somebody using a debit card, but it's not my business what they're using. I'm like, oh my goodness, they could be getting these points, especially when I see a shopping cart full of items. But I remember when I was that dude, I was using a debit card. And you're right. When I talk to people, I have talked to a lot of people. I'll tell them my thoughts on it. I don't try to push it on them. I don't pressure them. I tell them my thoughts, what I've done, and I let them make the choice. And if a lot of times they come back like, Rod, you were right, man. I just booked a ticket. I just booked a flight to Miami, man. And it only cost me $200 instead of $500 because I used my cash back.
Right.
So, I saw, there's a man, because it's driving me nuts. There is a comment I want to address. Queen, I know who I am. 5:32 p.m. About do your research. There you go. Queen, I know who I am. Let me break this one down. And you're absolutely correct. I'm gonna start by saying that. Yes, do your research on these banks who are issuing these cards. Many are shading have a bad business rating. You're absolutely right. And I won't say, just like I respect my channel enough, I'm going to respect Information Man's channel enough where I'm not going to name the card. I'm not going to say the business or the company. You're right. You do need to do your research. You should. You should do your research on a company when you go buy shoes. You should do your research when you go to a car lot and buy a car. You should do your research when you buy a diamond ring because it could be a cubic zirconia. You're right. You should always do your research. And I agree with what you're saying. Now, do you look at a bank like American Express? Some people hate Chase. Some people like Chase. Some people love Chase. Some people hate Bank of America. Some people hate American Express. I don't know exactly what you're trying to say. I'm just going to go real. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Now, if I was dealing with a bank, first thing I'm going to look at is how many fees. I'm going to look at features and benefits versus fees. I'm going to look at the benefits versus the fees. If I have no benefits and a gang, like they're charging me a fee for a credit limit increase, a fee to have a car, a fee if I lose a car, I don't have to do no research. The research has been done. I have all these fees and no benefit. I don't have to do any research. I don't have to even pull up their website. That card is not going to be in my wallet. Now, if I look at an American Express card, they have all these benefits and they have an annual fee. And maybe if you late paying your bill fee, which ain't going to happen with me, then that's the card. So with these, yeah, do your research. She is absolutely right. Do your research. But there are a lot of shady out there and they have bad business ratings. So I agree exactly what you're saying. And, I'm sorry, go ahead.
As I get ready to go to the next slide in terms of the best cards for travel in 2022, off the top of your head right now, brother, what card from your experience do you feel the most comfortable taking advantage of when it comes to the perks of travel, whether it be they give you a perk where you can travel for free, hotel stay for free? What do you most feel comfortable with recommending to the public that's listening right now and watching, opposed to what you don't feel comfortable with right now? You don't have to name any companies, but I think you definitely name the company that you think has, maybe, let me say, this might be a better way to put it, has a better track record as a travel credit card, brother. Better track record. And peace to everybody in the chat room too.
I would say American Express is my favorite. And a lot of people get afraid of American Express because they think they're going to be declined. And you don't have to go get a green, gold, platinum, and all that. My favorite card for a while was my American Express Preferred card. They have a no annual fee version of this card. It's the American Express Every Day. It looks just like this, except this one says Preferred, $95 annual fee. You earn membership reward points. You can transfer them to hotels. You can transfer it to airlines. $95. This was my favorite card for a while.
Wow.
My favorite card right now, without a shadow of a doubt, the American Express Gold card, $250 annual fee. That's why I started with the Everyday Preferred. I even mentioned a no annual fee. This is my favorite because I know the points and miles. The points I'm going to get with this card and how I can maximize my travel for free. But those are my favorite.
Okay. Well, stop right there, because I believe that the one that you just named, the Master, the one that you just showed a few minutes ago, might be one of the cards that they have in a top ranking for 2022. So you are on the money. Let me do this right here. This is folks, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody in the chat room that's still hanging over there listening. Me, T, and I, what's up, my brother? Me, T, and I has a great channel. Check them out. Me, T, and I, check out their channel. They've been nothing but very respectful to me when I was over there. Shouted me out, gave me a lot of love. Check them out. We've got Edit Again Media. Okay. We got Miss Dalton in the house. We got Prince that's come over into the house. We got Queen I Know I Am. We got Be The Difference Clothing. Hello, world. Glad to see you over here. Sister Natural in the house here. Let me go right up the line. Oh, we got Old Reliable who's come over. Hot Air. It's all hot air. He is giving out great information. From what I'm seeing, brother, which is why we got to have you back. We've got to have you back on a frequent basis.
Let me know when, bro.
That people are digging in what you understand. See, I got to keep it. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm really proud and happy of the people that came over that are listening right now, that are in the chat, and people that are not in the chat that are listening in the bushes, because these are people that really want this kind of information. This sort of stuff doesn't bring a drove of people because we're not talking polarizing stuff here. We're not talking about politics and this, the cop did this to this brother. Now we're talking about information, educating people on things that they should think about that could benefit them. And sometimes I really wish that more people on these platforms would solicit this type of information, because this information to me is even more important to your life, because I don't care what you believe out there. You can't get away from credit because that's the way the world is that we work. And then on top of that, we got this crypto coin. That's another reality that you're going to have to deal with as that becomes more and more powerful. If you would agree with me, Brother Rod.
You're totally right. That's why I have a second channel, Points Blank Finance, where I'm doing more crypto videos than I am stock videos. And one of my brothers that's part of my executive team, Bryant Legacy Building, D. Bryant told me either last night or the night before, he said, "Hey, Rod, I love what you're doing, but I really think you need to break down what is crypto." Because I go in and I make live purchases of crypto. I make live purchases of stock. It's not a live stream, but I'm actually buying it on camera and showing people. But what I do, you're right, man, with this crypto, and it goes back, and I'm gonna just say, and sometimes I don't like getting in a race, but I'm gonna say our people, and in case y'all didn't realize, I'm one of our people, including myself.
That's right.
We get intimidated by stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all this is a for real boulder alert. And I have to live with this day by day. It don't make or break me because money is gonna never make or break me. I had a young man who was from Nigeria in 2017. He said, "Hey, Rod, you really need to look at crypto." And I gave him the typical brother answer. "Man, I don't know nothing about no crypto. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't know nothing about it. I don't want nothing to do with it, bro." Miss me with that. And he walked away, kind of irritated. He came back about a week later. "Rod, you sure?" "Bro, I didn't change my mind. I just told you last week I'm not interested." It was $798 for one Bitcoin. But because I'm just going to use the term for Rod. I'm not going to use the term for everybody else. But because I was lazy, afraid, scared to learn something new, scared to research, and I'm speaking of myself. I'm defining myself right now. That fear, one Bitcoin today, it may be, I'm not going to look at the exact number. We're going to say rough numbers. It is worth $50,000, one Bitcoin. I could have did it right then when he mentioned, had I took the time to listen, invested $800, and it would be worth $50K today. Crypto, whether you like it or don't like it, I'm going to say like Ric Flair, the wrestler, used to say, I think it was Ric Flair, whether you like it or don't like it, sit back and look at it. It's what's happening, y'all. It's what's going down. And I got plenty of it.
And what I looked at a program, Brother Rod, and they said that there's a potential in the future, if not already, whether you like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that you may be in a situation where you have to pay your rent or your mortgage or whatever you're paying your bills with crypto. You got the mayor in New York, I think Adams, who says that he doesn't want the regular money. He wants his payment as mayor in his years being mayor there to be in crypto.
Yeah, I read a couple of those articles as well. And I don't know how soon that will happen. It's coming.
Yeah. Well, that's why I preference the fact that if crypto continues to take off, they were saying that in the future, you could have a situation where people can pay certain bills like rent and mortgages with crypto. Now, I don't know, how factual that is, but when they say the future, anything could be possible. Definitely, my brother. But let me go ahead and do this and put this next one up here, if I could. And let's talk about this one here. Let me take something off the screen here. And let's get into this one right here. So this is the next card I want to get into. Let me stroll down. We talked about that one. Here's the next one. We're getting close to that card that you have too. Oh, the platinum card. The platinum card from American Express. New platinum exclusive offers. Here it is, brother. You've been talking about the American Express. What do you have to say about this one? If you already have this one and you want to just give us a quick re-reference of it, what are your thoughts? The platinum card from American Express. People are often scared of this card. I know. Now, let me ask you this, if I'm correct or right. The difference with the American Express card and the other type of credit cards, is it still true that with the American Express card, when the bill is sent to you, they desire you to pay off the bill versus this sort of eating at it like a mouse eating at cheese?
Yes, the platinum card is what they call a charge card. The balance is due in full each month. And when I go to my account, there's no predetermined spending limit, meaning they advertise it like this. There's no limit. You think of that Usher song, No Limit Baby or whatever, but in actuality, you have a limit. What can you pay in full the following month? But
okay,
mine, I signed up when I did it for pay over time. which if I'm in a position that I have to stretch it out and I can't pay it in full because of the credit score I had, and this is what Information Man was saying earlier, how your credit score matters. My limit on this card is $35,000. Even though it says no limit, my actual limit is $35K. Information Man, I'm going to show you something and I'm going to explain why. But yes, I have the American Express Platinum card.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. We put you front and center. There we go. There we go.
I have 2 American Express Platinum cards. And I'm going to explain why in a minute. I have the Charles Schwab version, which is this, and this is becoming a master of your craft. And I have the vanilla or the regular version here. $695 annual fee, $550 when I got it. $550 annual fee when I got this one. Now they're both $695. That's $1,400 in annual fees. Needless to say, I ain't about to keep both of them. I'm kind of wild, but I ain't that wild. So the reason I end up doing it, and again, what's my favorite word? Options, baby. I like having options. So if I'm ever in a predicament where I need to check, I have about 250,000 American Express points right now. If I'm in a predicament and I need to redeem those points for cash, this card will only give me 0.6 cents per point. Not bad, but a half a cent per point. When I got this card, it would give me 1.25 cents per point. Now it's 1.1. Same card, same benefits. So I was like, okay, let me apply for this one. When this annual fee is due, I'm going to downgrade this card or cancel it altogether. And I'm only going to have one. But yes, is this card a beast when it comes to travel? It is. If I'm not traveling, is this card the greatest card in the world? Probably not. And that is the card that I used to go to New York when I went in 2019 for my birthday. And once Information Man shared the screen, I can tell you, if you're thinking about this card right now, if you're going to be traveling, if you're not thinking about traveling, I wouldn't apply for it right now. But with the new rewards rates, I don't get this. It's just for new applicants. They will give you 10 times the points on eligible. Go back down. I don't even have to read it. And go back down a little bit, and not down, up, Information Man, because I don't want to leave out nothing. Make sure. Okay, they'll give you 10,000 points at restaurants worldwide, and when you shop small in the U.S., up to 25,000 in combined purchases for your first 6 months of card membership. 10,000 for every dollar you spend eating. That's phenomenal. It's unheard of. The most I get right now is 4 times the points, and this is standard on the card. You get 5 times the points if you book flights directly with airlines or with the American Express Travel. You get 5 times the points on prepaid hotels booked with American Express Travel. I will tell y'all, American Express Travel is extremely expensive. I don't use it. I'd rather just go through the hotel. Scroll down a little bit, Information Man. $695. I don't see it, but I know it's coming. $695.
There it is. I have a little bit of a problem with that, brother, with that annual fee.
And right now, I'm battling myself. Will I keep this card?
Tell the truth.
If I'm not traveling. If I'm traveling, yeah, I don't have a problem. But if I'm not traveling, intro offer 100,000 points. That's pretty good. But that 100,000 points after you spend $4,000 in 3 months, they may stretch it out to actually $5,000 in 3 to 6 months. So, yes, it's a decent card, but it's a great card. But I'm not going to make it sound great because I have it. I'm just again, points blank. I'm going to shoot you right between the eyes with straight up information. It's a great card if you're traveling. If you're not traveling right now, I wouldn't get this card right now.
So let's summarize this. Let's get this to everyone to understand this. You're saying that it is a great card to travel because of those perks that we just read off? Let me go back to this again one more time. I do think this is impressive right here. The 500,000 on the purchases. Let me see. Wait a minute. This right here. 10 points on eligible purchases on cards and restaurants worldwide when you shop small in the United States, up to 25,000 in combined purchases during your first 6 months of the card membership, as you had said before. I do find that pretty good. But you're saying right now that for you, you would not get involved with this particular card, even though it's good for travel.
I wouldn't right now if I was
not right now.
If I was traveling, I would get it. But if I'm not traveling, I wouldn't touch it because you're gonna pay that $695 annual fee up front. That's not coming later on. It's not coming after the first year, after 3 months, after your first statement. That And if you're not traveling, I mean, what's the point?
What's the point? That's the whole point of the card. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question for those out there that will be listening to this on the replay. Once again, with all that the MasterCard, what this card provides you, the American Express. Let me correct myself. The American Express Platinum. If you are familiar with this, how can one benefit from this card in terms of travel when it comes to getting maybe a free room or a free plane flight?
With the platinum card?
Yes. Is it possible to earn that benefit?
Oh yeah.
And maybe you said that and it went over my head. I'm sorry if it did. That's
a great question. And it's just so everybody know. Information Man and I did not script this live stream.
No. This is organic, ladies and gentlemen.
This is straight impromptu, shoot from the hip, and I love it. That's how I like to do my live streams. Well, I'm gonna pull out 3 cards. I have more than 3. I have 9 American Express cards, but I'm gonna talk about 3 of them, and I'm gonna talk from the lowest to the highest. And Information Man just say, how can I take the platinum card and travel? First of all, I would get this card first. I would have the American Express Preferred card or the Everyday card. American Express Everyday Preferred or Everyday. This is a $95 annual fee. They do have a no annual fee version. I'm earning membership reward points, which I can transfer to hotels or airlines. $95. My favorite card in my arsenal right now, the card I use the most is my American Express. I'm trying to turn it. My camera's different. My American Express Gold card. It's a little different. It's rose gold. This is the favorite card of my arsenal. I earn 4 times the points at grocery stores, 4 times the points at restaurants. This one, and yes, I had to do a lot of learning to commit this memory. This one, I earned 2 times the points at gas station, 3 times the points at grocery stores. If I make 30 transactions, I get a 50% bonus, 4.5 times the points at grocery stores, 3 times the points at gas stations. And then of the trifecta, and that's when you have 3 cards and you're maximizing your points, then I would have a platinum for travel. I'm really not going to even use this. Right. One thing with American Express is they don't separate the points from each card. They pool all of the points into one American Express membership rewards account. So the points that I earn on the Everyday Preferred, the points that I earn on the Gold card, points that I earn on a Platinum go into one account. So it's easy. It's extremely easy for me to accumulate enough points to go to a hotel, whether I want to do a staycation in Dallas, staycation in Fort Worth. I have enough points right now. If I woke up, I go back to work tomorrow, but let's just say I was off next week. And I don't have to worry about them 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and all that old mess. All the price going to be high and all that. If I woke up tomorrow and by 2 p.m. say, you know what, I'm kind of bored. What flights do they have to the Bahamas right now? I could book a flight tomorrow night for the Bahamas, 8 p.m. Central in Dallas, and go in there and book my hotel, first class, fly round trip. It wouldn't cost me $1. So some people always ask, well, Ryan, it did cost you $1 because you had to use a credit card. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going buying no Porsche, no suits that I don't even need. I'm paying my utilities with my credit card. I'm buying my groceries. I buy my gas. I pay my insurance. I pay my cable, my cell phone. It's everyday expenses that people, going back to whoever was talking about the debit card, you're going to pay anyway and get absolutely zero out of it. And meanwhile, you ain't getting nothing. And I ain't telling nobody to go apply for no credit cards. I'm not telling you to go get no credit card. But for the people that's using your debit card, sitting at home, said, I wish I coulda, woulda, shoulda, your boy going to be in the Bahamas drinking a Mai Tai, flying first class, gonna take a whole bunch of pictures, post them on Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere else. And I'm gonna come back and tell the person, and I ain't knocking the debit card holders because I was one of them, but I'm gonna tell the person how nice my trip was while you still over there saying, woe is me, I sure wish I could go somewhere. Well, guess what? I'm gonna be the one again.
Tell the truth.
Trying to figure it out. It's just that simple, man. It's that
right.
Simple.
Let me just let everybody know, and I should have said this in the beginning of the show. If you're watching us on your cellular phone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Droid phone, you know you can share us out right at the fingertips while you're watching. You can send us to your Facebook, your Twitter, any of the social media that you have connected to your phone. Please, all of you, we got about 57 people watching. It's been fluctuating. We have people in the chat room. When you have an opportunity, please share this stream out. It's extremely important that we get this to the people. This message gets out there. The brother is giving us nuggets, 20 gold nuggets here. If you are a content creator, share this in your community tab. And also, I'm asking you this, if you are a content creator as well, when you go back to your channel, tell the folks that follow you, those that are definitely a part of your camp, to check out this video. This is very important.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Rod.
You
go
drop
ahead.
me down. I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to run to the restroom. Can you just drop me down and continue what you said?
Yeah. I can. No, you can just stay where you are, and I'll take over the screen right here. And I'll talk to the people, and I'll wait for you to come back, brother. It's not going to be a thing. Let me say peace to I'm just going to greet people while we're waiting for this brother to come back. So we've got Angel Light Over Darkness 33. I've been meaning to shout you out, sister. Thank you for coming over and joining the stream. Then we got Back to the Basics. Let me clap for everybody. Okay. Check out Back to the Basics. Check out Back to the Basics. Oh, Back to the Basics is in the house. She's in here, but no. Be the Difference Clothing has a YouTube channel. I want you to check out her channel as well. I interviewed her. Very inspirational sister. She's an author. She's written books. She's written quotes. Very powerful sister as well. Y'all need to check her out. Then we got my man Joe in the house. What's going on, Joe? This man is about truth. I believe he has livestock. He has a farm. He's doing real things off of the YouTube streets. We got RY. I'm looking at my CC balance, my credit card balance right now. This is great information. I guess she is getting great information. We got Black Voltron, who's just come in to bless us with his presence. Black Voltron says this: good afternoon, and big B1 salute to you, Mr. Information Man, and the moderators and the B1 chat family. Thank you, brother. Queen I Know I Am says, join Info Man here and there. Oh, thank you. And by the way, just so you know, you all know that I've got that third channel that I've been experimenting with. I actually like it, Your News Shorts. I dropped a news short over there late Christmas night in the West Coast because unfortunately, Wanda Young, who was a member of the Marvelettes, passed away at 78 years old. She was struggling with a pulmonary disease. She just passed away. That was a group that had their biggest hit, which was, hey, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. You know, I can't sing. And I did a little video tribute to her and the situation that happened to her. And she was a member of the group. So check out that video on Your News Shorts when you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have not subscribed to Your News Shorts, all you got to do is scroll down on this video page right now, and you'll see the logo of the little black kid, the black young man, the young black man who's smiling. And you click into that and go over and subscribe, hit the bell notification. And of course, you know, I have the Information Man Speaks podcast. That's the second channel. You can subscribe to that channel. I've got a stream that I'm going to be doing about Umar Johnson. We've been seeing a lot of nonsense. Where is the HVAC? No HVAC. Collecting money since 2009. No HVAC. And I'm going to do a podcast about him, hopefully on Monday evening. And hopefully I can go a little bit early so it's not too late. I welcome you all to come check that out when you get a chance. So let's go back into the chat room and see what we have. We have Brother DOD. DOD has a YouTube channel as well. Bless him with support. He gets into only news, and he's doing all the right things in his neck of the woods. We got Bonnie Rose, who's come over. Bonnie Rose has a YouTube channel where she plays music and has an animation of a woman. Animations going on over there that you might enjoy. So check that channel out as well. We've got Golden Melanin, who's come in the house, who's been very highly supportive of the channel since I've been on. I really appreciate that, as well as DOD has been very supportive of the channel as well. We've got Prince, Danielle in the house, It's all hot air in the house. Oh, Reliable has been a mod on my channel for quite some time as well. Thank you, Oh, Reliable, for coming over and blessing us with your presence. And of course, I spoke of me, T, and I. Definitely check out this family. They have a great channel as well. We've got your favorite couple in the house. I want to thank you all for coming over. Give y'all a clap as well. Check out your favorite couple. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Points Blank Travel interviewed the couple, and they were getting into more talk about travel, the best way to travel with credit cards and what have you. And check their channel out as well. That is Your Favorite Couple. Check them out. Let me go back down in the chat as I'm waiting for Brother Rod to come back, and I think he's coming back in the house right now. Your Favorite Couple says, dropping the boulders. This is amazing live stream. I really thank you for saying that. And then we got Golden Melanin is saying, thank you, Information Man, for all your hard work. Thank you for coming over. And once again, share this video. If with the number of people that are watching and the number of people that are in the chat room, this should get out to more people. And let me bring Brother Rod back over into the screen right now and give him a clap for coming back over. All right, brother. This is what we got to do for the good sake of time. Let me go back up in here and show you another one of these cards. Now, we came out of the American Express Platinum card that you spoke of. Now we have the Capital One. Now, I don't know if this is different from the one that this is the Capital One Venture Rewards, which I would imagine is different. Let me go back in here.
Yeah, it is. That's
from the first one that we looked at.
That I actually have. That's this one here.
Okay.
Way better choice than the Venture X.
Okay, so let me do this for the purpose of for reminding people that came into the stream late. So this is the Capital One Venture X Reward Credit Card that we first started with in the beginning. Okay, which allows you 5 times miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel. Now, when we stroll back down very quickly here to this one, and I believe Brother Rod said that this is the one that he would prefer, the Capital One Venture Reward Credit Card. Why is this the one that you covet more? And please explain it as it relates to travel too, brother.
Okay, as it relates to travel, and I'm gonna get a little deeper. The Capital One Venture Card, it has a $95 annual fee versus a $395 annual fee with the Venture X. That's first and foremost. That's what's, again, if you're not going to maximize your benefits over the annual fee, it's no sense in getting the card. So when you look at that Venture X, me personally, I don't book travel. And a lot of people need to know this. This is another boulder. When you book travel through these travel portals, American Express Travel, Chase Travel Portal, Capital One Travel Portal, that's considered a third-party travel portal like Expedia. Mm-hmm. If you have an issue with your flight or when you get to the hotel, you can't take this up with Hilton, Marriott, or Hyatt. You're going to have to take it up with, in this case, Capital One. They may or may not be busy while you're at the hotel trying to check in and there's an issue with your reservation. That's why I don't like using Capital One Travel Portal, American Express. I'd rather go straight through the company. So if I have an issue, I can call Hyatt, American Airlines, whoever. But so with that, if I wipe out that 10X travel on the Venture X, in reality, I'm only getting in the same here. They got 5X on hotels and rental cars. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use this card for 2 times the points on all other purchases, whether I had the Venture X, whether I have the Venture. So am I going to do 2 times the points and pay $95, or I'm going to earn 2 times the points and pay $395? That's a no-brainer. Now, yes, one of the reasons why I like this card, either one of them, one of the things you can do, they have transfer partners. I'm not too thrilled about them now. Transfer partners are how you can transfer your points to different airlines, different hotels. I'm not thrilled with their transfer partners. I love Chase's transfer partners. I love Amex's transfer partners. But they have a feature called Erase Your Purchase. Any travel-related purchase, and how I use my Venture card, I have a Marriott card from American Express. I have the Hyatt card from Chase. I have the Hilton card from American Express. All 3, not all of the hotels, but the 3 that I like to use are covered. I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred that covers United and Southwest. I have the American Express Advantage Executive Card that covers America, and I have my American Express cards that those points cover Delta. Every major airline is covered. Every major hotel is covered. But your boy's favorite hotel out of the whole planet, and I've stayed in hotels in Dubai. I've stayed in hotels in Hong Kong. I've kicked it in Jebel Ali. I've stayed in hotels in Sydney, Australia. My favorite hotel in the world is the Fontainebleau in South Beach. 28 to 17 pools, 5 different buildings, but yet they're not part of any major hotel group. So what do? When I go to Fontainebleau, because I'm a master of my craft, I don't pay for the room. I went there in 2017. I book it with the venture card.
The venture card, there it is.
Purchase. I have up to 90 days to race to purchase. That room is going to probably be about $500 a night. I want to make sure I have enough points. If I don't, I'll pay cash for some or whatever. I use this card for hotels, boutique hotels that are not part of a major chain. And when I go there, I don't care what it costs because I'm going to have enough points to redeem those points. And the cool part is I booked the now if I do it too early, if I do it longer than 90 days, then I got to go ahead and redeem it, but I can't redeem it because I haven't checked in. So typically when I use that with the Fontainebleau, I do it maybe a month, 2 months in advance. Go and do the stay. When I come back, I ain't got to stress. I'll go into Capital One, log in, erase the purchases. How many points do you want to use? My stay was $1,000. I redeem 100,000 points because that's $1,000. It didn't cost me nothing. And I'm moving on to the next trip, baby.
Okay.
So out of this, to answer your question, I would take the Venture or the Venture X.
Okay,
tell the truth.
That's telling the truth. Let's go ahead and go down to the next one, shall we? And this one, as they have, these are all the ones they have ranked. Now we're going back into an area that's an area that you're definitely familiar with too. Now this is different. This is the business platinum card from American Express. Another one of the cards that they rank for travel and getting benefits from travel with this card in 2022, getting ready to go into the new year. What are your thoughts, your understanding? If you have this card, let us know about the business platinum card from American Express.
I just received a invitation in the mail that I was pre-approved for this card to upgrade because I do have the American Express Business Gold card. I have the Business Gold. I don't have the Business Platinum. They keep trying to give me an upgrade, and I won't because the annual fee on this card is $595, but it's getting ready to go up. It's saying $595, but it's getting ready to go up because the regular Platinum is $695. It's going to go up to $695. I already had a Platinum. I'm not going to get any more benefits with this card than I do. Well, there is one benefit. If I use the American Express Membership Rewards portal, I can get 35% reimbursement on my flights. I can get 20% with this one. To chalk it up, if I had a large corporation, if Points Blank Travel was beyond belief and I couldn't believe it, I would probably have a Business Platinum. Probably not. As a small business, the Business Gold works better for me. And in addition to it, I also have I have personal gold here, business gold here. I use this here for Points Blank Travel related information, related travel and stuff. And I use this for my personal stuff. That Business Platinum is tempting to know that I have a credit score and I can get it. It's more flashy when you use the platinum than the gold. But again, I'm not trying to impress nobody. I'm trying to impress my bank account. What can I afford? And right now, could I afford the Business Platinum? Yes. Does it make sense? No. So I'm going to roll with the Business Gold. Great card if you have a large corporation. Not so great if you have a small business.
Okay. Let me do something right here. I did a poll before we went on, and I want to see where that poll is at right now. This is what the poll is, Brother Rod. And here it is. Do you plan to travel domestically or internationally in 2022? Right now, currently, we're at 61% of people that say that they want to travel going into 2022. Out of 114 people who actually voted, we have 39% of people who said no. If you have not voted, all you got to do is click yes or no on that stream poll. And right now we got 61% of people who say they're planning to travel in 2022. Very interesting. So even though we've gone through this horrible virus And that has put a damper on people's movement. You got all these restrictions and what have you. There are people out there that are still desiring to travel. And you got to travel smart, though. You got to be very smart about how you go about doing this. But let's go back into here, Brother Rod, and get some more information here. I want to stroll down a little bit more. We're almost coming to the end of this right here. And let's see. We came from we were on the business card. Now it's scrolling down to another Capital One card. This is the Capital One Venture One Rewards credit card. Has a zero. Wait a minute. Tell me if this is so. They're talking about an intro offered of 20,000 miles with an annual fee of $0. 5K earning 5,000 miles on hotel and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel, where you get Capital One best prices on thousands of trips options. What is your understanding of this card? Is that real? Zero interest?
Yes, it's real. And one thing with Capital One, anytime you see if you see the word one on any of their cards, they have the Quicksilver One, they have the Venture One, they have the Saver One. If you see the word one, you're going to get less fees, but it's typically a no annual fee card. That's just something to keep in mind. This card is a great option. It's the same as the Venture card with the exception of, instead of a $95 annual fee on the Venture card, you're going to get a $0 annual fee on this card. But instead of getting 2 times the points for every dollar spent, you're going to get 1.25 times the points for every dollar spent. So yes, you're not paying an annual fee. However, you're getting less earnings in your credit card rewards. Now, if you're that individual that don't want an annual fee, I'm just going to break this down. This is my thought process with this. Why, unless I was just wrapped up in the Capital One ecosystem, why would I choose this card at no annual fee and get 1.25%, 1.25 times the points? Why would I choose this card over the Capital One Quicksilver, where I can at least get 1.5% cash back? 1.25 times the points is the same as 1.25% cash back. The only difference is, you can't use these. They call them miles. They don't call them points. You can't use these miles to transfer to transfer partners. I don't think Capital One's transfer partners are that great anyway. So I would feel like I'm shortchanging myself by getting the Venture One card over the Quicksilver One, because I'm giving up 0.25% cash back. That's just my take on it. And again, that's becoming a master of your craft. That's when you really learn how to break these different things down and see, where am I getting the most bang for my buck? If I'm spending money anyway, I mean, some people, and I did a live stream information, man, on a lot of people start with Capital One and they keep getting pre-approvals from Capital One and they keep going with Capital One or whoever. Don't get stuck in the mud, man. Just because you start with Capital One, don't be afraid to venture out and get other cards. Matter of fact, and I know for the sake of time, I did see a comment I want to address, because, and I think this is very important. It was from Queen. I know I am. It was about credit cards. Hold on, let me go back up real quick here. This won't take long. That's man, Queen. I am got a lot of comments, but I'm just trying to get to this one because I think this is a bad perception. Y'all bear with me here. Just let me get up here. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not running this live stream because there's a bunch of comments in here, brother. And I just want to touch on this, and I don't have to. I'm not going to dwell on it. I just want to touch on it real quick. I'm
trying to find the comment. Do you know what the comment started with?
Here it is. It's at 5:58 p.m. And I just want to touch on this, man. I want to touch. And this is not I don't even know who Queen, I know who I am, is. I've never seen her or met her. I love the fact that she's very, very active in the comments. I love that. Not that ain't the comment, but I say, heck no. It's not better to file for bankruptcy. But
here it is. Wait a minute. Is this it? Here it is. Honestly, credit cards are a trap. They want to see you fall down into the pit of debit because the government pays off your debt to them when you default. Your card with those banks are heavily insured. What is your statement to that? Very interesting statement by Queen. You know I am.
Well, this is my Man, and that's pretty deep. And can you put it back on? Oh, I can see it right here.
Yeah, I'll put it back on. Here we go, right there.
I don't necessarily think credit cards are a trap, because you have a choice of whether you want to apply or not. And I also think if you choose to apply, the credit cards are the trap. I want to read this next part. They want to see you fall down into the pit of debt. I don't think now this is just my opinion, if credit cards wanted to see you fall into debt and they wanted everybody to fail, why are they using a credit score? Won't they just give everybody a credit card? If this was the case, I'm just, because I don't like to get too confrontational, but this comment I'm really kind of questioning, because credit cards can be a trap for people that are not disciplined. They're a heck of a trap. But if you have the discipline, who applies for a credit card? There are some people, I ain't gonna lie, there are some people, but what mature, what intelligent, what financially educated, I'm not saying college degree educated, I'm saying financially educated person is going to get a credit card and say, I'm going to go intentionally into debt with this card. That makes no sense. So
I think people normally go into debt because some people don't have a good understanding of money management. I think the problem with credit cards is that it allows you to buy something without money. So you don't, for example, back in the day, I remember when everything was brought with cash. I remember growing up and you would have layaway, right? And a lot of times when you can see your money in your hand, and you would see how much money you were putting out physically, it sometimes would psychologically make you say, oops, I don't want to spend on this, right? Where the credit card gives you this sort of illusion that, okay, I buy it now and I get it now, but you got to pay for it later. The bottom line is, people get trapped in these credit card debts because of the decisions that they make, whether educated or not educated. They make bad financial decisions where they buy more than they can afford. They think they buy with their eyes and not their head. And so I think that's where credit cards could trap you, but it's trapping you based on the financial decisions that you make that are not in the best interest of you. So if you're making poor decisions, then you're going to get in trouble. But if you know how to manage I think what you're saying, Brother Rod, is manage the cards. Don't let the cards manage you.
Exactly. And I'm really questioning the part about, yes, the government may pay off bad debt, but if the credit card issues were relying on that, why would I even care if Rod, Information Man, or Charlie or Susie even paid their debt? Why would I even check their credit score? Matter of fact, I wouldn't even check their credit score. American Express will be giving every individual that has a 500 credit score a credit card, because why? They ain't gonna pay it anyway. Then I'm gonna get my money from the government, and then please don't charge up these cards. So I don't know. That's kind of
I think what she might be saying that because we live in a capitalist society, they actually want us to be in this rat race, right? Where you keep the 1% rich and you keep the poor staying poor, and you give them this illusion that they could someday break out of that by offering them cards to people that you know may not have best financial ability. I'll give you a perfect example. When I was in college, and you know this, brother, colleges is where some of this debt starts, because when you're in college, you're a college student, they'll come on your college campus and they'll offer you a startup card. And they know that as a student, you're already starving, you're already struggling. And so some people think that they prey on the students in college because they know that these are people that they can get them caught up in the race, the rat trap. But the bottom line is that the credit card cannot harm you if you use it wisely. You pay it off. You don't get yourself into these bad high interest rates. We saw cards today for travel where there were some $695 annual fees. Do you want to get involved in an annual fee card like that? No. If you can't afford that, no. Do you want to get an American Express knowing that you got to pay off whatever you pay on that? If you can't afford it, don't get that kind of card. And if you get that card and you run up those fees and you can't pay it, can you really blame the card or the government? Or could you really blame just yourself for making bad decisions. But to be fair to Queen I Know I Am, I understand I kind of understand where she's trying to say, because we do have lots of trappings in this society where they'll dangle out a shiny carrot in front of you to people that they know are not thinking straight. So I kind of understand where she's coming from with that statement. But let's do this, Brother Rod. I get where you're coming from too. It really comes down to personal financial literacy. We got to get our literacy up about how to manage our money and deal with these cards and what have, because the cards ain't going away. It's the way of the society that we live in. Let me go to this next one if I could, for the sake of time. This one you might appreciate too, brother Rod, of Points Blank Travel. You might appreciate the American Express Gold Card. What do you got to say about that?
I just said it. It's my favorite card. It's right here. It is part of my current in my wallet this month, part of my current American Express trifecta. And trifecta is when you're rolling with 3 cards to maximize your points. In my wallet right now, I have the card information man is talking about American Express Personal Gold. I'm rocking with the American Express Business Gold, and I'm rocking with the American Express Everyday Preferred. But that gold card, yes, it does come with a steep annual fee, ladies and gentlemen, $250.
Yeah, but I would say this to you, brother. $250 is a expensive annual fee, but it's a lot better than paying that $600. What's that other one that we was looking at?
$695.
The $695, which was on the, we got the $595 on the Business American Express, and we had the $695, I think, on the
Personal
on the permanent, the platinum. So that's a lot better. But let me say this to you, since you have that goal, for the sake of the title of this video today as well, how can one better benefit and maximize the benefits, as I say again, when it comes to travel perks? And how can that gold card win you or benefit you to get a free travel to a domestic place or to an international destination, and even benefit you with hotel expenses if you even have to pay for the hotel? Can you speak upon that as we get close to conclusion of this program today?
Definitely, man. Great question, information, man. One of the reasons that this card is my favorite, I prefer American Express membership reward points for travel because they're transferable points. American Express has, I want to say, between 18 and 20 transferable partners, different airlines, different hotels. And what I like about the gold card is they took 2 of our biggest daily expenses and made this the top bonus category. They took 2 things that are a must, something that we have to have, and that's food. They have 4 times the points at grocery stores and 4 times the points at restaurants. Now, at one point, at one juncture, there were a lot of people eating out because people were getting away from cooking, and it was just quicker to eat out. And then the current situation happened where we're not going out as much, with the worldwide crisis, and we start cooking more at home. Well, either way, I'm going to benefit 4 times the points for every dollar spent for restaurants or groceries. And then you get 1 point for every dollar you spend everywhere else. If this was the only card I'd have, I'm going to take those points. If this is the only card, and they're going to keep piling up, and then I can take a flight. Say I'm going to California in March or April, probably April, because I have people coming out here in March to visit my daughter. She's having my first granddaughter in January. I'll wait a couple months. I already know that I don't even have to worry about how much this trip is going to cost. I don't have to worry about am I going to be able to afford it? Because I'm continually accumulating 4 times the points for every dollar spent with this gold card and other cards, but let's just say I only had this card. I'm going to probably stay with her, depending on how long I'm out there, 3-5 days, but then there's going to be 1 or 2 days where I want to stay either at let's say the Marriott Marquis in San Diego on the harbor. I can use those American Express membership reward points, transfer it over to the Marriott program, and book that hotel. So my flight is going to be covered. My hotel for the 1 or 2 days that I choose not to stay with my daughter is going to be covered. That's how you max. But you have to know prior to getting your cards where they're going to benefit me in 2026, but do I stay at the Marriott? Am I fooling myself? Or do I really stay at the, Comfort Inn? I mean, I've stayed at both. So, or do I fly with American Express? Do I fly Delta? Do I fly these other partners, or am I a Southwest flyer? If you're a Southwest flyer, it wouldn't make sense to get the American Express card because that's not a partner of American Express. Chase cards are. So you really have to know what are you now. If you say, well, one day I may fly Delta, I can tell you right now, I love Delta services. They're the best airline domestically, but me being in Dallas in an American Airlines hub, I get better options with American. I can fly from here to San Diego in 3 hours to visit my daughter and her husband, my grandson, and her soon-to-be daughter. If I take Delta, I got to stop in Minneapolis or stop in Salt Lake City because that's where their hubs are. Then I got to fly back down and send it's a 6-hour trip. Which one do you think I'm choosing? I'm not just flying. Well, I will because I got lounge access, but I'm not flying around the country just to be flying and stopping. I want to go straight there. So in actuality, if that was the only place I went, if I only went to San Diego and I traveled nowhere else, American Express may not be my best option. But to answer your question, yes, this is my favorite car. But I'm giving y'all different scenarios to how you choose cars, how I choose cars. It's what works. If I didn't have other cars, this car wouldn't work for me. So, but it's my favorite. Me and I said them Delta cookies hit differently. I'm just looking at one of the comments.
Right. Let me bring this up, brother. This is Brown Sugar Baby. She says that's not a. She says it is not a good card. She says when she can pay nothing with the Navy Federal card, she prefers the Navy Federal card. And we talked about this prior to going live that you have some familiarity with the Navy Federal card. You don't actually have one, if I'm not mistaken. But she says, from what you do know of the Navy Federal card, because I think you did a video on your channel, a collaboration with someone about it, is it a decent card in comparison, especially with travel?
Well, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and I was with Navy Federal for 20 years, so I'm very familiar with them. I don't have an account with them now. I have no credit cards with them. And you may not pay anything with certain Navy Federal cards. Matter of fact, with the cash rewards, more rewards, there's no annual fee. With the flagship, their top card, there's $49 annual fee. And I'm just going, and who was that asked this question? Because I want to make sure I address them. Because I'm going to break it down with my travel style and their travel style. And everybody's different. What works for Rob may not work for you. But yes, you can pay nothing with Navy Federal. Let's just say I had a Navy Federal card. And yes, I could book a trip. I can't transfer points to any major hotel. I can't transfer points to any major airlines, but I can book through the Navy Federal travel portal. I can book directly and use those points to offset the cost. I can do that. But Rod being the man he is, Rod want to have some type of status. Navy Federal doesn't offer you status. Rod want to stop at the American Airlines Admirals Club or the Delta Sky Club or the Centurion Lounge. You can't do that with Navy Federal. You can't do that. You have no lounge access. There's different amenities that I like when I fly. Well, I used to be that dude who just want to get to the airport and go to the plane. I like to go and get there early and relax and go to the Centurion Lounge, where a lot of times when I walk in, they look at me like I'm not even supposed to be there. I don't go there for that. I go there to eat, give me something to eat, have a cocktail or a glass of wine, and I go on about my business. When I check into a hotel, Navy Federal is not going to give you any type of lease status. I get no rooms upgrades. I get no late check. Every hotel I stay in now, I don't check out at 12. I check out at 2 to 4 p.m. Navy Federal is not going to give you that. This is me with my reasoning with Navy Federal. One of the biggest turnouts I had with Navy Federal, and a lot of people don't know this, Navy Federal is a credit union. Credit unions are owned by the people. Banks are big business. I prefer credit unions. I still have some, but I ran into an issue. And I'm not going to even get into it. That's another video, another live stream I do on my channel. But there's a difference that you may want to research between a credit union and a bank that may not be in your favor. And I've experienced it personally. But the Navy Federal cards aren't bad. There's a reason I have 28 credit cards and none of them are Navy Federal. I'm just going to say that. And you're muted.
Let's do this as we get ready to close. And I'm going to definitely have to have you come back before we can pick your brain about other issues around finances and credits and what have you. In the end, why is it? I was listening to a video, and how is it that the credit card companies, how do they really benefit from offering these perks to people? how do they benefit from giving you a free trip or a breakdown, a discount hotel stay or renter car? How are they able to do this on that? Is it because on the front end or on the back end, they're going to definitely get their money from you versus what they give you on the front end?
It's two ways they get it information, man. First and foremost, the annual fee. That's because a lot of people pay the annual fee, and I'm one of them. In the last couple of years, they pay the annual fee, yet they're not using the perks. So if I'm charging Rod $695 for this platinum card times 2, and he's not flying anywhere, or he's not staying in a hotel, he's not using any points, we're $1,400 a head. There's a reason that you travel, and Miss Dalton, she may be gone now, she brought up a good point earlier. There's a reason that American Express is not accepted internationally everywhere. They have the highest transaction fees. We as consumers don't see the transaction fees, but the merchants, the companies that accept American Express, they pay large transaction fees. One of the reasons this card is willing to give you a 50% bonus if you use it 30 times, because if you're making 30 transactions, American Express is making more money from those transaction fees, not from Rod, not from Information Man show. I remember Information Man, they're making it from the retailer or the merchant. So in turn, they're making, and then now American Express is getting even smarter. They're starting to let people carry balances and accumulate interest. Yes, they can give us these perks and these rewards because they're making so much money off the annual fees, merchant fees, and the people like me in the last 2 years that don't even use these perks. So that's how they're able to do it.
Say peace to a life magical journey. Brother, let me give you a clap. I want to thank you for coming over today. Point Blank Travel. We're going to have to do this again because I'm realizing as I'm talking to you and hearing the things that you're saying, that there's a lot more to unpack. Everybody, please check out his channel. I have a description in this video of his channel, and you can click into that and give him a subscribership. Hit the bell notification for this brother. And because over there, he has everything broken down on both his channels. He has the finance channel. He has the travel channel, but he does center a lot in talking about credit, repairing credit. You have guests that come on and talk about finances and what have you. So we got to do this again, brother, so that I can pick your brain and about more issues. Let me say peace to TTC, HBC Queen is in the house. Be the difference clothing. HH is here. Queen, I know I am. Earl Owens. A lot of great questions that have been asked today. Life with Magical Journey. A lot of folks that have come over to watch. Neil 100 has come over saying good night. Make sure y'all share this in your social media, everything. Brother, with that said, another clap for you again. Is there anything that you want to leave the audience with?
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to thank, and I'm glad you brought you back on the screen, because I want to thank Information Man for even having me on his channel. I saw him on Vern's. I think he stepped in. It was actually it wasn't even Vern's. It was during her adoption thing. It was on a Collective, not Collective. I can't remember the name, but anyway. And I was immediately impressed. And you know, as a content creator, you kind of know who you either want to emulate or people that you look up to. And you know, some people want to hate so much they don't have time to look up to nobody because they're too busy trying to be on top themselves. Well, I knew immediately after seeing Information, man, I was like, hey, I like this dude's style. I like the way he speaks, the knowledge he has. And he was speaking on something totally different. Then I started checking out his channel. I was like, man, I got to work with that brother. But I don't have to go through the whole history. I just want to thank you, man. It's a blessing to be able to be here with you tonight. I want to thank everybody, the PBT family that came in. Your favorite couple, Meet and I, Bryant Legacy Building, Neo 100. And I couldn't see all the comments that were flying up and down the screen. But and the people that I support, Be the Difference Clothing, Natural Larecia, the people that come out and support people and they have their own channels. But just for all the people that I don't know, that I haven't virtually met yet. I hope to have more interaction with you. I definitely want to come back. And you're right. It's so much that to talk about with credit and credit cards and just life. I mean, I talk about finances. I talk about all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to thank everybody for welcoming me in, accepting me on Information Man on his show. I'm supposed to be doing a live stream at about 8 o'clock on my channel tonight. And I got to do it. I don't know if I come up with a topic, but it has been a pleasure and an honor, man. And I got to tell you, I got to go back. I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch this live. And I rarely watch a live stream when I'm on. I rarely do that. But from your intro to the whole way you did this live stream, for any YouTuber out there that's doing lives, they may want to watch what this brother's doing because, man, now I got some great ideas. I don't know if I can implement them because it's just been fire, bro, from the beginning to the end.
Thank you.
We definitely got to do this again. I wouldn't mind having you on my channel because one thing I like about you, and I'm that type of dude day in and day out, if you can't keep it real, I'm probably not going to mess with you. And you keep it real. Like you say, tell the truth. It may not be popular, but
tell the truth.
With that being said, bro, all I got is I got nothing but love for you. Blessings, my man. Peace. Thanks for having me here. And I want to do it again, man.
But I have a question for you, and I appreciate everything that you're saying. Man, I appreciate what you're saying. Can you, with all the credit cards that you have in your experience, for the sake of the video too, because there'll be other people that'll be watching this video, because as I told you before we went on, this video is ranked in the travel area. I was able to crack the code on YouTube on how to do this. And it's also going to benefit my channel because the way I was doing it, as I said before, I was making a couple mistakes here and there. But now that I've figured it out, this video is ranked every time someone goes into the question of travel or asks, it comes up somewhere in there, which is good. I want you to say right now, how many times have you personally gotten a free trip, free hotel room or car, or some type of perk in conjunction with the credit cards that you possess, my brother? That's with Thunder.
Wow. Let's see. I haven't traveled since 2019, and I really started this journey in 2016. So from 2016 to 2019, I've stayed, we're going to start locally, 1, 2, 3. I've stayed in Dallas 5 different occasions at the Hyatt Regency. Downtown Dallas didn't cost me $1. Average cost per night is $200. I just get a wild hair up my butt, call an Uber because I know I'm going to have some wine and not going to feel like driving back the next day. And I say, hey, man, take me down to Hyatt, book the room, use points. I had an opportunity to go to South Beach. I stayed at the Fontainebleau for 4 or 5 days. Flew down there with American. I think I flew economy. Flight was free. Hotel was free. Look up the Fontainebleau in Miami, and you can see it's not cheap. That was 2016, 17. 2018, flew to San Diego. I stayed with my daughter, round trip. American Airlines didn't pay for anything. 2019, San Francisco, stayed at the Hyatt Regency off the Embarcadero, Pier 39. Didn't pay $1 for that. Flew out there round trip. That was, I want to say, economy as well. In 2019, flew to New York, round trip, first class, Midtown Manhattan. And I have several trips booked for 2022. I'm looking at the Bahamas. I'm looking at San Diego. I'm looking at St. Thomas. I'm going on a cruise in July with your favorite couple. That's the plan. And one more trip to round out the year. And I can tell everybody that's watching this show, I won't pay $1 for any of what I just named. I'm close to 1 million points right now total. That's American Express points, Chase points, American Airlines, Capital One. And I'm probably going to turn up the heat as I get closer to some of these trips because I want to keep my points replenished. So that's St. Thomas, Bahamas, and I may be taking a trip. I wouldn't mind going to Australia. We got to see how this whole medical situation played. I don't like saying that word on YouTube because I don't know when they'll hit you or not. But everywhere I go in 2022, and the cool part is whether I travel by myself or whether I decide to take someone along with me.
Yes.
They don't have to worry about it. I ain't saying I'm about to, and this ain't no invitation. I'm just saying all they got to do is show up and they're gonna be rolling with me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I believe in doing things. So
And you're able to get those benefits because of the points that you've been able to earn through properly operating your credit cards and understanding how not to get yourself in debt. See, it's about manipulating. Don't let it manipulate those credit cards. So because of that, when you're able to figure out how to break the code of how to manipulate those credit cards to your best interest and not get yourself in debt is when you can actually gain benefit from them. But if you're in debt and you're struggling, of course, the credit card becomes your enemy because obviously you're in debt, you're sinking in water. The goal is not to sink in water. I appreciate everything that you've said today. Like I said before, brother, we'll have to do it again. I hope you have the energy to do your stream today. Everybody, once again.
I'll make the energy information, man. You don't know me, man. I'm like a Rolex, baby. I don't stop. I don't stop till it's time to go to bed.
Tell the truth.
Fantastic. Look, everybody, once again, make sure you get over to Points Blank Travel. He also has Point Blank Finance, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure you support the brother, give him the subscription, give him a bell, a notification, and do what I did. He's got a series. If I can pull this up, excuse me. Where's my water? He's got stuff like my Capital One credit card strategy, my Bank of America credit card strategy, the Navy Federal flagship rewards, which we talked about earlier. Earn 4 times bonus points, 4% cash back when you refer. He's talking about referring to these the MasterCards and what have you. Just look through his catalog of videos and you're going to come away with something that's going to work for you. You're going to come away with knowledge. And by the way, you can verify what he is saying. If you're not sure, is he telling me the truth? No. When you go and you do the research and you balance it all out, you'll find out that Brother Rod is right on the money. He's not leading you in any way wrong. He's telling you the truth. I had a chance to look at his channel and do some more research and find out that the brother is talking about things that other people who are quote unquote financial experts, licensed people, are talking about. So it's not that you are a licensed financial man, but you just use the correct knowledge from your own research, your own awareness, and your own experiences dealing with credit cards and financing in your life. And I know that you are a man who has a big portfolio because you've invested in Bitcoin and other types of investments that I've seen you talk about, growing, how you grow your money. You're doing big things, brother. So I thank you again.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, no, I'm not I mean, I have a degree in business with a minor in finance, and but really it's just a matter of just self-teaching and want to become knowledgeable. And you're right, because before I even draft the content for a video, I'll probably read 3 different articles if I don't know that subject. And then once I feel like I know that subject, I'll draft the content, and I may take another day or 2 to even make sure I'm again master of my craft. But you're right, when it comes to investments, I have about 92 different stocks and ETFs, and you just want to be prepared, you know. And when it comes to like traveling, you know, I've heard so many times, man, and hopefully my channel, and hopefully the people that Information Man bring on his channel and the knowledge that he's bringing to the table. You know, I have a saying on Points Blank Travel, and I want to leave everyone with this. I'm going to bring knowledge to the table, but are you going to grab a plate and eat? That's the question. I'm going to bring the knowledge to the table. I'm going to lay everything out on the table. Your turkey, your dressing, your ham, your yams, your macaroni and cheese, and all that. But are you going to be brave enough? Are you going to be bold enough to grab a plate, grab some silverware, and sit down and eat and feed yourself with the knowledge that's being put out there? Now, with that being said, I don't like greens. So you may see something on my channel that's not for you, that you may not like. But I like macaroni and cheese, so I'm gonna get a scoop of that. I'm gonna get some. I'm not big in the ham, but I'm gonna get some turkey. And I'm using an analogy here. You may see videos on my channel, Information Man's channel, that's not for you. But stop. If there's a reason you can't travel, I respect it. But stop making excuses why we as a people can't move around and can't see the world. I've seen the world. Even though although I've seen the world, I want to see more. There are places I haven't been, but don't be that person like my parents and a lot of parents that we came under. All my parents cared about was being in this rural town in Arkansas. They didn't care about going to no other state, no other country, and they limited themselves. They were smart enough to teach me and my younger brother, but they limited their knowledge to a whole world that's out there. Don't let that be you, please. And that's all I got to say.
Tell the truth.
Make sure you get over there and support that brother. I had my mic down, but it's up again. Let me give him another clap. I appreciate this brother being on with me again. I'm going to put him back on the screen. He's over there. I have my mic muted. Once again, cheers to this brother. Peace and respect. Most respect to him. I appreciate you being on today. As I get ready to close out, ladies and gentlemen, DOD, I see you there. You've been rocking with me for a long time. Everybody in that chat room has been rocking with me heavy today since day one. All my day one folks, and I appreciate you all for being here. This was I think this live stream was very important to start the new year. It isn't my usual polarizing. Let me talk about a political issue. Let me pontificate and all that, and bang my hand on the dresser and talk about something that's going on that's kind of polarizing, that really gets people's juices flowing to want to come over and watch. This was very important, and I need people to share this in their social media because people need to hear the things that Brother Rod was saying and the things that we were talking about as it relates to credit. Just make sure, don't let credit control you, you control it. That means you got to be very fiscally responsible for what you spend, how you spend, and what have you. If you don't use some literacy, some financial literacy, and use some common sense, these credit cards can be your worst enemy, but you have to try to figure out how you can turn it around and make them work for you. That's the key, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you, everybody out there. Angel, light over darkness. Queen, I know you am. I know I am. Black Voltron, the real Aaron Collins, Be the Difference Clothing. Hello, world. HHRY is in the house. Earl Owens, DOD, Meta and I, thank you for coming over. Your favorite couples in the house too as well. Thank you for coming over. Definitely for blessing the channel. Life with Magical Journey, back to the basics. And we got TC HBCU Queen. Go and share this video. I think watching this video again would be very good because he might have said some things that you might have missed and you want to take some notes down on this. Very powerful, very important stream, everybody. So I'm going to get ready to get out of here and relax a little bit. I've got other streams, not tonight, that I'm going to be doing either tomorrow. And if something does break, some breaking news breaks tonight, I will go live just to break that breaking news on Your News Shorts. That's my third channel. It's an infant stage. If something breaks, go over there and subscribe to that channel too. Go subscribe to the Information Man Speaks podcast. It's all on the page of this video. But if something breaks, a story, I can go live on that channel at any moment in the night just to give it to you. And that's the key. It's called Your News Shorts. I just do little short news updates about what's happening. It could be 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, depending on what I need to say about that particular issue. So everybody out there, have a great night. I appreciate everybody, and peace to you. I appreciate everybody out there.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Anybody that super chatted me, thank you.
Thank you for the
Take care, everybody. Peace. This is Brother Rod. Yeah, get in that plane and fly somewhere and take advantage of those rewards on those credit cards. go somewhere and travel. Oh, another thing that's important, folks, very important, is having your passport too. You gotta have a passport. That's very important to travel this world that we live in. If you choose to travel domestically, not just domestically, but internationally, passport. You gotta have a passport. That's right.
Lately it's looking like everything perfect.
Bravo.
I put mud with it, I put the work in. You can find me where that turf is. Pin precision like a surgeon. Bad ones used to curb me. Showing up to the show when the curve split. She know that I'm worth it, I'm finna go up, I'm aerial. I got the hit stash, got a bracelet for impact. Real tricky, quick to flip a pretty penny to a thick stack. Quick stack, think fast and I talk real. I give a fuck about how they feel. Me and Zay just dropped the propane and it sounded like mass appeal. For my dog, I'ma ride to the wheels kill. Got his hand on the hammer, so keep it legit. I've been the man with the blueprint, I won't stop till I own every brick. I used to lay out in the lawn just to feel the world spin on its axis. Now I got the access and the last laugh, got it off of the passion. I keep it 100 on the dash now that we got our subtraction. Slick soccer, I'm a showstopper, you are not solid. Tread cautious, couldn't go a mile in my toe boxes. Stun the shade with the Visine, light it up to bring the vibe in. Lime tint, color spot beam on me, I'm a star every night lit, ultraviolet. Hey, I told her make sure that phone is on silent so we know what the vibe is. Take a look in my iris, I think she know that I'm high risk. I never know what the time is, I never know when my mind went.
Tell the truth.
I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that, hey, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that I used to toss a coin in the waterfalls, in the wishing well. Now I get plenty coin, bitch, I'm self-made. You ain't gotta wish me well. You ain't like me then, but I guess it's past tense, cause you tapped in. You was never who you said, I see the facade. When looking, it really be that quick to tell. My guard up, I ain't taking nails. If it's not in my favor, won't sign a deal. I got the royalty in the mail, I got authority in the field. Take a look in my iris,
tell the truth.
I be precise with the timing. I move on the touch, that shit high risk. I never know where my mind went. Ayy, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Like it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that, ayy, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Like it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that.
Take care, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
You are listening to Information.
I appreciate everybody.
Make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Take care. Have a great rest of your evening. I hope everyone had a great holiday as well. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Peace, everybody.